Welcome to Good Earners. For those that are new, welcome to our show. This is not a show about money. But those that have already been here, y'all know how we give it up. Here on Good Earners, we like to talk about family, finessing, finances, and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano, bringing you a new perspective, a fly perspective, and a black perspective. We're kind of having an intervention this episode.
Whoa. You killed a dog?
No, not my dog, but the dog. When we first
You
started
killed your dog?
yeah, I know, and I need to share this. I got to get this off my chest. When we first started podcasting, we used to break down themes and concepts, but now because of the blackness, we can no longer function as soprano podcasters.
But hold on. Time out. Who's doing the intervention? Who's leading?
I'm doing the intervention.
Hold on, but you the guy that snuck into Popeyes at one time and stole all the chicken sandwiches.
Hey, we're not here to judge. not to mention a scumbag.
Hilarious.
Y'all brothers, man. How y'all doing, man?
Taking it easy, man.
Yeah.
I can't lie, man. I know it's fucking ridiculous, but I feel like the Reverend Rodney King Jr., you know? That's how I feel.
Well, I was definitely gonna bring that up.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
I did not know Rodney King was a reverend.
Because he's not. Because he's not.
Breaking news.
But
Tony. Even when he said that nigga racist as fuck,
bro. And Tony, that's even Tony. Like he knows so much stuff, but even when it comes to anything black, it's still funny that he doesn't.
It's like, bro, he thought that there was no way this nigga could be on TV getting all this sympathy if he wasn't at least a reverend. I don't know him to be a public official. He at least got to be a reverend.
Like this nigga
That's
is Martin
so
Luther
funny.
King. Like
He gotta be. He has to be. Only reason that people care about this nigga.
bro,
Oh,
crazy.
man.
Hilarious.
Before we get into our episode, so just to update you all again, because my brothers, my friend, these friends of mine, they're gonna continue this thing. They're gonna keep it going. They're gonna come with more content every week. We're gonna hold off on finishing the season, like I've told y'all before. For those that are new, y'all just go back to the last episode. I've already broke it down, but my wife is with child, so there's nothing you could do but get prepared for that. So, but these brothers, they're going to continue the Sopranos.
Your wife is with child. You
Hey, I
don't
just
even
saw-
take care of your kids. Moolies don't even take care of your kids.
The movie
Your
Taking
wife
time.
is with child.
Taking time off like you moolies work to begin with.
You mean child support? Yeah.
Uh,
No, but so they're going to continue on. So y'all be on the lookout. Y'all, what they do and what they'll put out as far as these analysis and different concept episodes. Y'all stay tuned in. We will finish season 4 and continue to the rest of the seasons and beyond. But in the meantime, when they're going to be putting out content until I return, because they're just good like that and they're gracious like that. So I appreciate both of them. And not only
Absolutely.
do I appreciate them, I appreciate our listeners commenting. I don't think I've spoke
Real
about
quick.
it before. Yes.
Real quick, to give it to them logistically, expect about a 3 to 4 week hiatus on the episode breakdowns, as we usually do in the feed. So expect about a 3 to 4 week hiatus on that because Mo is going to be out. However, Rich and myself will make sure that we provide you with content. So do not stop checking the feed. It will still refresh for you. And we will have character breakdowns, maybe even some trivia. We haven't decided yet. But for the next 3 to 4 weeks, it will be Rich and I doing some additional content. Back to you.
and this will actually be the perfect transition because Mo, I know you just talked about listeners. We'd even love to hear from some of y'all if you have any ideas of something you would love for Spike and myself to talk about in the Sopranos world.
Mhm.
We can use that as an episode one week while Mo is out. So Mo,
Yes.
ball is in your court.
Flood. In order to get that to them, y'all immediately need to run over to GoodEarnerPod_Sopranos. DM us there. Y'all have to immediately, if y'all want a concept and it's something that doesn't, but these have to be concepts that don't spoil the future episodes. Let's get that out the way. So if y'all want something in mind that's a really good one that we will consider, y'all have to immediately go over there or email us at goodearnerpod@gmail.com or even leave a comment on our YouTube. That's immediate though, because if not, you will miss out and they'll just continue to create based on the great minds that they have. One listener to highlight, GS Money Baby Double XL says great review for great review.
That remind me of school email.
Oh man! All right. But he says great review, one of the best episodes. He's talking about last week, whoever did this, and he says a good farewell to Ralphie, one of the best characters of the series. And yes, he was involved with the fire. The writing was on the wall since the last episode, and it was retaliation for Valentina. The Tracy, the Tracy, plus the Tracy situation, plus promotion for captain. Ralphie says Ralph's death will have lingering consequences for Tony in the future, especially in the April crew. Appreciate the podcast. Look forward to the next episode. So shouts out to GS Money Baby, Double XL. Shouts out
when that mixtape dropping.
Boy,
it's a rapper name right there.
It really is though.
GS Money Baby.
We appreciate you.
Throwing it in the strip club.
Yeah, Bricks V.
No, he directs.
Yeah, definitely. Bricks V, he said he spoke some good things. He talked about how funny it is when I'm talking about something and how Spike Lee just immediately is lost or like not on or whatever I'm talking about. Well, this is pretty much normal. Go check out another week of the books. But he also said this is the term of Dark Tony. And I'll speak a little bit more to that in our episode review. And I think we had another listener that had DM'd us about probably a previous episode. I'm not gonna go into it, but shouts out to him for DMing us as well. But nonetheless, here we are. Let's get into the episode. We're not gonna hold y'all up without further ado. Here we are. Spike Lou, what episode are we reviewing today?
This is episode 10 of season 4, entitled The Strong Silent Type. To start this episode, Chris takes a seat in the wrong place, and it sparks some concern amongst the family and friends. Carmela, she does a big chop. Tony wonders, has anyone heard from Ralph? And the crew, they wonder what could have happened to him. Furio, he made it back to New Jersey, and Adriana turns to Carmela for help with Chris. Paulie has some new art that he's hanging up, and Tony consults with Junior on how to handle some things. Carmela confides in Ro, and John and Tony discuss real estate. The group has a sit down with Chris. This is a long episode, as you see, season 4, episode 10, The Strong Silent Type.
I can't wait. I'm gonna talk about that title a little later, but I want to get us kind of moving into this. So we open up. Chris is.
Hold on, real quick. I'm sorry, Mo. I know we've been doing this. This is just the last one before we get to the episode. I just want to say it right now. Spike alluded to this a couple episodes ago. If you are easily sensitive, I'm gonna be laughing my ass off at the most darkest, ignorant,
you're right,
dark humor shit throughout this episode. I just want to let y'all know. I mean, I think that our audience, you guys know us at this point. Some of this shit is right up my alley as far as humor, dark humor, just goofy shit, and it starts with the first scene. So I just want to let y'all know if you were easily offended, wait till next week.
This one.
Yes, please.
Yes,
a lot of ignorant shit going on.
I love that y'all did that. Yes, absolutely. Disclaimer: we're not insensitive to people that actually have this problem, drug usage issues and addict and things like that. We're not,
or pet lovers.
Or abusive relationship people. We're not insensitive to any of these things. Don't take my laughing as something else, but we're going to do a lot of laughing here. So please, if you're a Soprano fan, you should already know how funny it is. But if you're just listening because you happen to come across this, we're not insensitive. We know these things happen. We know people really go through these things, but this show is not that. I'm going to say, like I said to the listener, we keep it light in a world so heavy. All right. So Chris is getting his fix. First question I got to ask y'all. What the hell is this show?
That's Little Rascals,
this
man.
monkey.
That's Little Rascals. That was my
Little
shit.
Rascals, man.
Black and white?
Yeah, hold on. Time out. Please do not tell me you thought Little Rascals was the movie that came out in the 90s. Don't tell me you thought that shit was original.
Of course.
Bruh, that's a remake of the black and white show.
Originals. Yeah.
Shit, Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live used to do the Buckwheat, and that was in the 80s.
Now the only one that matters is the 90s because they got this monkey messing with this little black girl. What is this? What are we doing?
It was black and white time. You see it?
That's how it was. Yeah, it was. Those are some. Now I used to watch. I had this age as me, but I used to have those shits on VHS. Like it had a whole collection, and you could order the old Little Rascals. And I used to watch them.
The 80s joint?
That's funny.
Nah, them longer than the 80s, bro. That's
like the 20s.
When did VHS tapes come out?
VHS tapes were in the 80s, yes, or 70s or whatever it may be.
I didn't know they was that far back.
I'm not sure if you've ever seen a VCR, Mo, but this was in like the 90s when I had the tape, so they just like remastered them and resold them. You know those late night remastered, redid, order the whole set on VHS. Like I ordered one of them joints for the Little Rascals. That shit was fire too. It used to be my favorite shit.
It released in Japan in the early 70s. So the VHS? Yeah, the VHS, yeah. So okay, so it's a little bit before. I didn't realize 70s though.
You know, it was no, not 70s. Like the show was like 1955, like the 50s and all that stuff.
Oh, but it was filmed. I mean, it was
filmed on film. Real. It was like like the same shit that this wonderful. What is it called?
A Wonderful Life.
Yeah. A Wonderful Life.
Yeah, the same shit that was filmed on. It's like that. It's back in old times, I believe.
I shouldn't be surprised by this, but I really am shocked that you thought the Little Rascals was like an original script in 1994. Like you didn't know it was based off the TV show.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you like Nutty Professor. Like you wouldn't know. Oh, the Nutty Professor. This came from this movie from back then. Like I didn't know that. Like.
You might not have known that in 96, but I felt like most people know that today.
Yeah, today. But even this right here, I guess the monkeys throw me off. I'm sorry. I just
nigga, they had a black nigga named Buckwheat. Nigga, what you thought this shit was about?
Wait.
And he was stereotypical, boy. That nigga used to talk funny and everything.
Oh man.
Yeah, damn.
This is
I saw.
All right. This is what Sopranos do. They just do straight. They do straight bullet racism. This is about Chris getting high, and instead of focusing on the fact that like, bro, this nigga is out of it. He's on junkie level. Let's just still throw the monkey and the black girl in it. Like just to, like it's just whatever.
That's a boy. That's not a girl. That's Buckwheat.
Oh my bad, Buckwheat and the monkey. You know, I'm not sensitive to it, y'all. So this is not the black plight conversation. It's just funny how it's straight bullets on the racism. Like that's all. But what was you gonna say, Rich?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But okay,
I'm just laughing at you, bro.
All right, so let me ask this: is Cosette sleep?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Before the sit. Before the sit.
Yeah, she sleep right there.
Because the eyes are open. Because
she might just be chilling though.
I got a little bit. No.
You ever had a dog?
No, I haven't. But let me tell you, I work and they keep the dog upstairs at my job. They keep both dogs upstairs because they know us, so they just mind their business. But bro, Cosette eyes look open. Okay. Now, do dogs sleep with that?
A dog would do that though. Yeah, they'll be laying there.
Okay, because I got a hot take.
She really thinking that she probably couldn't believe that he was gonna sit on her.
No. When you see the back of this nigga's knees, you need to move.
Nah, dog.
When you see his dirty underwear that close, I don't know why a dog would still be chilling there. I'm sorry. That's why I'm asking. This is why I'm asking.
Down kind of quick though.
Nah, he wasn't moving fast at all, bro.
No, I'm telling you, wait. He wasn't moving fast, but the flop was quick. So like having a little dog like that, like they'll look at you like he ain't got the audacity. Like you act like you finna fuck with him, and they won't move. Like yeah, right. Like you know,
yeah, the little dog's tough. It's the little dogs that you gotta worry about.
Look at you like ain't no way you finna do this.
Oh man,
that split second between ain't no way and I can't believe this is happening. Fuck Cosette.
And that little hey, what fucked me up is the little. Oh, you heard the little.
Like I'm sorry,
like damn.
I mean, it just got me because the dog. I'm looking, I see the eyes. I'm like, there's just no. Normally, they reflexes like the dog in my job. Like even when hear anybody coming upstairs, immediately like perk, like you know what I'm saying. So I'm just like, I'm not. There's no justification. He's high. He was out of pocket, no doubt. But like, it just seemed like when I looked and I said, okay, the eyes are open and Cosette is laid across the couch, and I'm like, you see, he's over there, and it's like you just, you know, I don't know. That's why I was like, if he was asleep, you know, of course, but like, yeah, I don't know. That I'm sorry. I know I jumped right out there, but like that was a question I had, but
it's just the fact that this nigga Chris is just unaware that this is even happening. Like he's so gone, he don't even know he sat on a dog. That shit wild,
bro. Like, like. Bro, you sit like you don't feel no bones, no nose bone, eyeball gush, like all of that's like all of those details on your cheeks. You don't feel nothing. Like that's crazy. Dang, that's a terrible way to go. Rest in peace, Cosette.
Yeah, Santi's ass in your face. Yeah,
bro,
that's a terrible way to go.
Junkie ass.
Swamp butt. He probably had them draws.
Swamp, definitely had swamp butt. Like no doubt. You see the boxes, bro?
Shit.
Look at his beater.
That shit look clean, nigga.
Oh,
yeah, that shit.
Man.
He had that shit on for days.
Oh man, he don't know what day
that's what
it
you
is.
should have said. That's what should have made her move was the smell. The smell should have made her move.
Like that should have been enough.
Like, oh.
Hey man, y'all gotta chill, man. Come on, y'all gotta relax.
Little Rich over here crying. I didn't know it was gonna be this early. I'm sorry. All right.
He usually get a whiff of that. Usually dogs get a whiff of something else.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a lot of like,
serious?
Like it's a lot of warning signs.
Oh, what the fuck is going on, man? This shit crazy.
Sopranos, bro. Right? They good like that.
Hilarious.
Oh, all right. We're back. So Carmela, she's in the mirror. She cut her hair, and she's feeling good about herself. She opens the door. Who is it? It's Benny Fazio. It's not Furio. It's not Furio.
Nasty.
It's
man.
weird. Go ahead. I'll bring up what I was gonna bring up. But what you get?
Just Carmela. I know. Listen, we don't have to prolong the conversation. We've seen it going on all season, but just the way that Carmela perks up and when she knows, like she's preparing for it. She's in the mirror, like she's checking her teeth. She making sure to smile right. She put on that was a cold little green outfit that she put together, man. She tried to make sure she looked good for Furio, and this nigga don't show up. And it's just the fact that Benny come in, you treat him like a schmuck. My nigga got to sit in the chair by the door.
This nigga visibly disappointed. Like,
I'd have been like, damn, my nigga
disappointed. Like, damn, what I do?
Yeah, where's Furio? Like, if I'm Benny, why the fuck do you care? Yeah, nigga, I'm here to pick up. Ain't nobody here for you. We're here for Tony. Mm-hmm. And if I'm Benny, I'm like, damn, my nigga Furio told me you be making coffee and cookies and shit. Like, damn, I gotta sit by the door. What's going on?
By the door?
That's crazy. You're right. I didn't think about it like that. But
she was salty.
You know, it's weird because I guess the timeline got effed up for me because I never realized that the haircut happened here. Mm-hmm. It kind of threw me. I don't know if it threw y'all too, but I thought it was like kind of on some like depression, like, oh, I'm cutting my hair type deal. I didn't realize it was before, and it wasn't really a thing that gave me the indication that I got to take this next step to really lock in on my look. Like it just felt out of nowhere for me. I don't know. I mean, I get her pursuit of Furio, but I guess the haircut, I thought it was something more associated. It kind of just kind of felt like we was thrown in there, almost like Tony's response, really.
That's a haircut.
Did Furio at some point say that he likes short hair or women?
I don't think he's ever said anything about like women.
That would have been, hey man, listen, she cut her hair because she heard that nigga say that shit. That would have been crazy.
Oh, crazy.
That's a haircut. That's a haircut white women get when they got mixed babies.
That's funny.
Oh, that's you on your part.
It's definitely
it's either that or the colored hair or the colored hair.
Mm-hmm.
With the country accent.
Give it away too.
Yeah, the country accent. Yeah, I don't get me started.
That's definitely I got a son named Javon haircut.
I got a son named Javon.
Son named Javon Soprano.
Yeah.
Javon Soprano. No, that would have been Meadow and Noah's son. If they stayed together, it would have been Javon. Like
Tannenbaum Soprano. Javon
Tannenbaum. Yeah. That's really good. Spike on his stand-up today, boy.
My question was, when was the last time he seen his wife? Like, does she don't wrap her hair at night? And when did when could she have possibly went and got that done without Tony just now seeing it? Were we supposed to take that from that? Like he didn't even notice
That's a great
until
question,
the next
bro.
day? Because this is the morning time, right? She ain't been to the salon.
That's why I love doing this, because I never thought about it like that. But you're absolutely right. Like that is a. He had to do a double take himself. Like, hold on, man.
Let's
She's
rewind.
Been walking around the crib, and that's why that kind of adds to her frustration when he asked her that. Like, nigga, it's been like this for a day. Like, could you imagine, Mo, if your wife walked in the house and you didn't mention her having a haircut like that to the next day?
Mm-hmm.
It's like we said. It's like we said last week. Carmela wants to be seen. Tony doesn't see her. So that makes perfect sense what you just said, Spike. She probably has had it for at least 24, 36 hours, and he just now noticing because she don't see her ever.
She brings it up later with Ro as far as like the difference, but go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and not only that, like you out here talking about something, you said you was gonna talk to me before you did something like that. Like the fact that you don't see me and I gotta get your approval, you can ride out.
Right. And his reaction was so like to turn around, like, whoa, shit, damn. Like it was just it was wild how he reacted.
For sure. 100%.
But it's just funny. I was thinking about like it's that the process of her getting her hair cut. Like I was thinking about like this. Oh, girl, I'm about to kill him. Girl, you go to I'm about to make a big change. Like that whole anticipation, because I think about us as men when we get a chop, you know what I mean? You get that line up, get that fresh shave, get the whatever, and you be like, you're excited about going out with the boys. He's like, yo, we about to link up. He's like, yeah, you get with your barber, you locked in. It's like, oh, I'm about to get active today, buddy. And so you're excited about people seeing
the hell out these errands.
Yeah, I'm excited for people to see my look right now, as if it's the new look, but it's whatever. And then to get to like, oh, bro, we ain't gonna be able to do it tonight. You're like, nigga, what? Bro, I gotta
go somewhere.
No, that's
I gotta at least go to the store or something.
Yeah, somebody gonna see this cut. Like that's why I felt for Carmela, where it's like, so it's go ahead.
And she's had that cut, and then the person, like, not only did her husband not see it, the person that she wanted to see it the most was just like, oh, I ain't here today,
bro. Like this is risk.
I'm sorry, man. I was thinking about the next scene, man. My bad.
Oh no. But like this is crazy. So Tony finally notices Carmela's short hair, and he fails tremendously here. This nigga says, I thought we said we would talk about that before you did that. And then he says, oh yeah, it looks nice. Like he just kind of like, bro.
Said it makes you look younger. Like you look old right now.
Look, he trying to go for the twofers, like the twofer compliment. I'm gonna say it make you look younger. So you think it makes you look good and younger. But this is I mean, this is a crazy jump right here. Like just out of nowhere, cutting the hair short. But for the record, I think the short hair is definitely better for Carmela. Like I'm on that wave when we talk about which side.
What it really makes me want to ask, and I'd love to know this from our non-Black listeners.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is a universal woman thing, but I know for sure sisters, when they cut their hair, it's over.
Yep.
The relationship over, all that stuff. That's like a fresh start. So I don't know if that's the universal woman thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's been that big chop, that hair. That's a big thing in the Black community when it comes to the sisters. So I am curious to know if Carmela internally was like, I'm over all this. Let me just cut all this off of that fresh start, similar to what we would be used to. I don't know if it's true or not, but it just made me think of that.
I mean, that too is like there's that sidebar where like when she start going to the gym, it's over. I'm for real though.
Together.
Like like if out of nowhere it's like I'm about to get it, and she moves, so I'm about to start working out. Then out of nowhere it's like she really got the membership. She start going, she getting trained. It's over.
Yeah, she got that work husband.
Yeah, boy, you better start hitting the gym with her, bro. Like,
what a gym husband.
Exactly. Gym flow. We go to the next scene. Adriana. She walks in the house.
This nigga Chris is knocked the fuck out, bro. That nigga got his mouth open.
Bro, dog. So she walks
Dog
in.
indeed, my nigga, dog.
Yeah. So Chris right here, she's walking in and she looks at Cosette. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, it's Cosette.
Cosette. But she's looking around, and I mean, the acting in this scene is they're putting on a clinic. Drea De Matteo, Michael Imperioli, because she looks around and she sees him. He looks like he literally just woke up out of a high stupor. And she looks and she's like, oh my God. And then the way she like starts cussing and going at it like, you killed the dog. What's like the way she's doing it, like you're high on smack. No. Like she
must have crawled up under there for the warmth.
Bro. Bro. Jeez. Crawled up under the Moltisanti's cheeks for warmth. It's crazy.
The warmth is crazy. Part of me in a dimensional world wants to see him wake up before she gets there and see the extent that he goes through to hide this from her. Does he go buy another dog? Is he just like, fuck it? I would really love to see how he would have reacted to this dolo.
Let me ask this then, in the theory land. Let's say Chris, let's just say he did. What is the move? Like if y'all in that position and you let's say you was chiefing on some good kush or something, and you didn't.
Whoa! Let's not put this type of behavior. Let's not put this type of behavior on kush.
That's probably the best kush in the world.
That's some
really good kush.
You be more like be drunk than drinking. I mean, smoking on some.
All right, let's say you're doing twofers, right? Let's say you're doing twofers, and
I don't even know what that is.
That's the drink and smoke, right?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, you gotta throw smoking in there. You can just be drunk.
Well, you got the drunkenness of you got the highness, you got all of that loosey goosey happening right now. You just like I ain't even like basically the next morning you don't really remember a certain part of the night. That type of whatever you want to label it. You wake up before she does. You realize like the dog is out. Like, what is your move? Like, what do you do? Try to get rid of him and say it ran away?
You had experience with this, Most?
Huh?
I'd say
you got experience with this. You said that quick.
I would have said I woke up and she was like that. I don't know what happened to her.
Oh, that's
something she ate. Something she ate.
So you just like Chris. You just like Chris, bro. Like that's the same thing.
I definitely wouldn't go replace it or like hide it from her. I'm like, man, she must have ate something bad. Like you have to let her know that she did,
bro.
Yeah.
I mean, can we put Chris in the Hall of Fame for dog sitters?
No pun intended or pun intended.
You know what really grinds my gears though?
Op number one for Peter.
The fact that Christopher Moltisanti got away with this, but they did my man Mike Vick like that. All right. So Drea De Matteo, man, she really killed this scene, bro.
That was
like the crying, the jittery, like the whole jittery cry, the Michael Imperioli face with the junky teeth. Like, bro.
Hold on, man. You gotta. It's the whole setup, though.
Yeah.
It's for me. It's like that's why I keep laughing because I'm a nervous. Like I'm not a nervous laugher, but I'm just my reaction when some crazy shit happen is I laugh. Like if people, I know it sounds fucked up, but I'm laughing. I'm gonna laugh regardless. But just the idea of coming home and turning off the TV, this nigga knocked out on the couch. So once you find out what happened, it's just a mental thought of like, damn, like. How long you been sleep sitting on my damn dog? But her really like on some like, where's she like looking through the room like, damn. Because if you Adriana, you like, where the fuck could my dog be? This apartment only but so big. Like during my dog, and you look over, you see that nigga smush under Chris. And that nigga talking about some. All he gotta say is you cut off the TV. Oh, she must have snuggled underneath me for some warmth. Hey man, come on, man, get the fuck out of my face, bro.
You freak? Are you freaking crazy?
Like the fact that he's still sitting, like he's stretching and shit, but still sitting. He don't know. That shit is hilarious to me. Like Chris, what you owe, bro?
You have dog parts under your cheeks, bro. Like I'm just all right. It's just crazy, bro. Anyway, what was you gonna say, Spike?
That was it. No. Yeah,
man, but like that. I mean, again, they killed this. I ain't gonna keep reiterating, but they should have submitted this because he really looks like he looks so high, bro. We keep saying that over and over, but we got to emphasize the fact that like this dude is not doing anything. He's an actor. But man,
Nigga said I fell asleep. She said, "What?
Are you fucking crazy?"
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it is like, I'll get you another dog. I don't want another dog.
I fell
You and your
asleep is a
fucking smack.
crazy excuse, man.
Man,
Nigga said, "Hey,
Dog
this
under
nigga
the
said I
bed.
didn't kill her. I didn't kill her. I sat on it."
bro.
Come on, man. Stop playing with me,
He's
Chris.
just like, bro, how many times did I
Oh,
tell her? Like,
man.
you know how you go in the defensive mode? How many times did I tell her not to sit on the furniture? Oh man.
Yeah, I told you she shouldn't have been on the furniture. Hey, yeah,
Yeah,
this
he's a
is
different type of dude. That's a
yeah.
loyal chick he got, man.
He really is,
That's
bro.
one of the loyal chick in TV history.
Oh man, bro. I told you.
Wasn't.
That's what. Never mind. I ain't gonna even go there. I already went there once. I can't have this conversation again. The boys are at the Bing. So Tony is trying to get ahead of the murder and the rumblings. And he's saying, anybody heard from Ralph? And he's doing this. Silvio's playing pool with Paulie. Paulie has a funny line.
Try to gay man Squire. Heard they having trials today.
Like what? So this is it's funny because Paulie's so old school. He immediately labels Ralph. Like that's what makes it so funny to me. He immediately, like, Tony's trying to figure out all of these sexual things about Ralph and where does it stem from with the mother thing. And Paulie's so old school. He immediately like, nah, I've been saying like this, F him and his alligator tears. Did you forget the 100 incidents with this guy? Like Ralphie, I don't care, bro, if he ever shows back up. Like,
Man,
bro,
didn't even break a stride though.
nah,
He didn't.
Kept shooting
Then
the
he-
cool shot and everything. That was the funniest part about it. Like,
Yeah,
as
bro.
soon as he said it, Tony expected some pondering on the room. He said, "Call the gay man's quiet."
like,
Heard they having tryouts, and he didn't laugh. Like Paulie didn't even laugh, bro. Like
no LOL. Like,
we just talked about this
He was
before we
dead
started
serious.
recording. There was something that Spike said in the group chat, and I said what made it funny is the fact that this nigga didn't laugh. There's no LOL.
yeah, no
I
LOL.
think I meant
bro.
that shit.
No smiling emoji. Like,
Nigga
yeah,
Paulie
bro.
meant that
That's
shit.
funny.
Shot his shot and kept it moving.
Yeah, bro.
That's
That's
crazy.
Yeah, that is. What do y'all think about this? So y'all think this is? Do y'all think Tony? I mean, we know where the series goes, but like, do you think Tony is playing this well? Because it seems like when the painting comes in with him and Pyomai, which is very ironic in the timing of when he told him take him out of the picture, and Ralph was in the picture and he took Ralph out, and then the picture comes and Ralph's out of the picture, of course, and he gets emotional and immediately leaves. Do y'all think Tony is playing this right as far as like trying to play like, oh, I don't know anything either?
The
All you
brilliant
can
thing
do right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say the brilliant thing about this show that I've said it before. And it's what helps with the question that you're asking. We have no idea how much time has passed. Like we don't know if it's been a week, if it's been a day, if it's been 2 days. We have no idea. So the response that Seal gives him, as we will see later, is like, is he saying that just to like placate Tony because that's his boss? Like, man, I'm starting to worry, Tony. Or is he saying that because the streets been talking and nigga, we know you did it? Like you don't really know if he's gotten that information yet. And I think that's what makes the scene so great. And even in Paulie's response, when Paulie's like called the gay choir, like, I don't know that Paulie would have said that the first day that he was missing. But I don't, like, maybe it was a week, maybe it's been a month. Like, we have no idea. And I think that's I just want to point that out about how good they played this. So to answer your question, Mo, I'm not sure if they know or not, or if he's playing it well, because I can't tell how much time has passed. And that will have something to do with it.
I'll comment more when we get to the Vesuvios with Patsy, Sil, and Albert. Okay. I think I read somewhere, but I can't confirm if it's true or not, but it's just one of those things on the internet, so take it for what it is, that it's been a week.
Bro, I promise you, I was going to ask, I was just going to ask y'all, just at a guesstimate, how long would you say? And I was going to say a week.
About a week.
Yeah, that's what I read, but like I said, it wasn't like HBO's website that said it. It was just, I can't even remember where I read it, but a week is what I'm going with, and it would make sense to where, all right.
Yeah, you deep in these streets, bro. Like that's a good reason, because you think about what made me think maybe a week is because Furio went to his father's funeral, right? Last episode. So I'm like, he ain't gonna be gone in Naples for too much longer. That was the only, it's a subtle thing, but that's the only thing that I kind of latched on to when I thought about timeline.
And the show did a brilliant job of giving us something. Even though we were losing Ralph, they still gave us a setup for him for it to make sense that, yes, because any other time, if somebody's going for a day or two, you get nervous. But it makes sense. Something just happened to his son. If he's going for 3, 4, 5 days, maybe nobody's looking for him. They're giving him space. After a while, once you get to close to a week's 8, 9, 10 days, all right, hold on. Now this shit getting weird.
Okay. So almost like how the feds do, where it's like, you get so long if you start like looking like, okay, this is a missing persons report.
Yeah, because Ralph don't got friends.
No. He's
got them. He doesn't have like people he would kick. If the Prio crew's not with him, then it's really like he's by himself. If they don't know what's going on with him, then
nobody do.
Yeah. Chris pulls up to the Bing. He brings in Tony's picture of him with him and Pyomai painting. But man, like Chris don't realize how bad he looks right here, which is consistent with what he's doing. And Tony, Tony's downplaying and everything because obviously last episode we say a week and a half ago, I thought you said you weren't going to do that anymore. So it's like you pulling up and like, bro, you are like out of it now. Like this ain't a couple of episodes ago where where Tony walked up to them before he talked to Valentina and he's talking to Silvio and he's still trying to figure out, bro, you look worse. So it's crazy. Like it's just really crazy him pulling up like that. But
I love that small interaction they had. Just kind of that quick glance.
How you doing?
Because they know.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, what's he doing? Calling Ralph, and that nigga Tony blew that smoke out with that blank stare because he knows that Chris knows what's going on. Ralph ain't answering.
That part. Well, yeah, Tony pretty much leaves and tells them, get rid of that painting or whatever. We get a small scene. Furio's plane lands, and he's riding back into the States. Anything I want to add to that scene of him riding back into Jersey?
One thing real quick before I say my quick comment on that. What y'all think about Paulie taking that money, saying that's a forfeit?
It's not money. He walked out.
That's what it is. Walked out.
That's consistent with it. Was he right or did it matter?
No, it don't matter. I just always thought it's funny. Yeah, man, you left. Shit, got money on the table. It's money's on the table, bro. You don't get up.
Gave this up, bro.
Yeah, man.
And I don't remember it next time you ask.
That is definitely Paulie. Like, yeah, you're right.
Oh, what are you talking about, Tom?
But the only thing I was gonna say about Furio was that he's a nomad. You see Furio officially being a nomad. Here he is landing in an unfamiliar country, but he just left an unfamiliar country, even though this is home. He talked about how he doesn't belong anymore. He doesn't feel like life has been going on without him. So this scene was just one of those reminders. Like, man, he's really in the middle ground. We got to figure out what's going on with Furio, how this is going to play out, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I just hate that they forcing this on us to care. Like the fact that that was a wonderful breakdown, Rich. Like you're absolutely right. But the fact that they even trying to intertwine this into the storyline is just it aggravates me. Like, come on, bro.
What do you think they're trying to get us to care about?
Him and Carmela. They're trying to give us more backstory on him, so him and Carmela will matter more to us. If we were a more sensitive audience, like there is probably part of the audience that did appreciate this and like, oh, Furio and Carmela go live happily ever after, but like I could care less, bro. I do not care about Furio.
Oh man.
Nah, that backstory doesn't need, bro. You the driver, you the muscle. Like that's what I'm hyped to see you do.
We've seen the backstory on you, bro. That's all I need.
Yeah. So and as a viewer, how you think this is gonna play out, my nigga? Like this is the boss's wife. Your uncle told you. Like how you think this is so? It's not like it's a big surprise as far as you can't make the move that you want to make with Carmela. It's interesting. Don't get me wrong. I do think they belabored the point just a tad, just a few episodes.
Just a tad, okay.
Yeah, they just belabored the point because I would have found it more interesting if somebody would have made a move. A la Vic and Carmela, like make a move. Like all this little glancing and nervous, don't want to get her number. Like, I'm taking it back to like the old house party days. Like, damn, nigga, just say what's up to her and see what she about. Like, y'all doing these little fake glances. Furio told his uncle he don't even know she knows. Like you got these type of strong feelings, and you don't even know if that woman knows. There's a similar scene in this episode with Ro and Carmela. Like, hold on, you ain't even, bro. What the fuck is you on? Like, what are y'all talking about? Mm-hmm. And I think that represented the viewer. Like, yo, just go ahead and go for it. Mm-hmm. I'd rather Fury or hit. That would have made it more interesting to me.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of lukewarm. It's neither this nor that, you know. And you said ish.
No, I was about to say either shit or get off the pot.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you got to make the decision. Like, hey, I'm gonna make a move, even if I know it can't be what I want it to be. Like I'm about to initiate an affair, or I'm about to just be on my chill shit. I'm about to get back to my job, stay away from Carmela or stay away from Furio, whichever one you're looking at, and keep it moving.
It's just interesting because I guess it's like, is it worth your life? You know what I mean, so to speak, to pursue this woman. And in what capacity would it be? And it's like, you'll never be safe. It's like, even if she does the proper divorce thing, like, you'll never be safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's never going to work. That's why that emphasizes my point of how do you think this is going to turn out? Like, there's not a good scenario at the end. There's only one. His uncle told him there's only one way this works. And even then it wouldn't work because you got the rest of the family to deal with.
Yeah. The only way it could work is if he took her to Naples. That's it.
That's still fine.
I'm about to say, even then, we coming to find you,
but he in his hometown now. Like at that point, it's like,
remember, Furio worked for Tony people. If Tony the boss in New Jersey and he reached out and he like Furio did this, Furio wouldn't be safe over there either.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. Like the only reason I say I don't know is because if she divorces the boss and she's no longer the boss's wife and she comes that way and it does that, I don't know if that you're just making calls like, hey, no, he's pursuing the boss's wife. I don't think it's that. I think I was listening to Sammy the Bull's podcast, Our Thing, and there was a scenario kind of similar to that. You know, that he looked at a dude a certain way because he was pursuing this other mob guy's ex-wife or whatever. He didn't like it, but there wasn't grounds for whacking them. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's necessarily, like, if she was still like married and just skipped off, yeah. But like, I think if she was divorced, he could probably make some calls, but it doesn't break. I don't think it will break their code, so to speak. But who knows? We in theory land. We get to Vesuvio, Silvio, Patsy, and Albert. Albert makes some really good points here, but to me, it didn't feel accurate to Albert's character. But I'll get back to that. What did y'all think about this scene? And
is this the same thing to be repeating?
Yes.
Himself?
Yeah.
Got mad at?
Mm-hmm.
You think he's dumb? That's why it don't fit his character for you.
He just got smart all of a sudden. That's what I like.
All right. So I'm glad you said that, Mo. I don't even think it's that.
Okay.
I don't think that he got smart all of a sudden. I think that it's so obvious what happened. I think it goes to show that everybody knows what's going on. Like this didn't take we talk all the time about how Tony plays chess. If you got people like Albert figuring it out, then you know what it is. This is checkers. This was a checkers move. Tony acted out of emotion. He didn't use brains when he did this. He didn't go over there with the intention to kill Ralph. I mean, obviously he wanted to confront him. I don't know. Once again, like we just talked about, I don't know what Tony thought was going to happen if he found out that he killed Pyle Ma, but that was off emotion. He got Chris, knowing Chris was high off his mind to help him. Like he was desperate. Tony acted out of the form of desperation because he had to get rid of that body. He did something he wasn't planning on doing, the whole nine. It wasn't thought out. It wasn't Tony. Like even when he was like, so nobody's heard from Ralph? None of that seems real or authentic. So it's starting to seep through. All right, we know y'all already had issues. We think about the Tracy incident. We think about you hitting them then. You think about Pyle Ma. We think about the horse dying. We think about the way it died. That's suspicious. Like it just seems like it felt like all the pieces were right there for everybody, and it was a 2+2 equation. Yeah. Like, come on, bro. Like Ralphie just disappeared. The best earner just disappeared out of nowhere. Come on.
I agree with what you're saying, Rich. In their world, all signs point to Ralph. In like a civilian's world, we would be like, well, it's a hard time for you to get there to make that assumption. But if you go back, I'm sure everybody knows that the barn burnt down. They know that. How? And they know that that's common knowledge. I mean, it was probably on the news. That big of a fire.
I don't know. That's why I kind of was like, that's why I got kind of confused. Because I was like, everybody wasn't going to the betting. spot with Ralph and Tony. It was Ralph, Tony.
Yeah, but you know how
cousin.
We've gotten an idea of how word travels in this circle, right? So even if they don't know the logistics of Tony and Ralph on this horse at this stable, they know, oh, Tony, you hear Tony's been making a killing from Ralph and this horse that they got. Like, that's just probably talk amongst each other as they're hanging out, because it was such a popular. You've seen everybody that was up there. You know, Ralph probably running his mouth about it. Hesh was up there at one point.
Hesh might be the one.
The crew was up there. So it's not hard to believe that it was a known thing amongst their circle that the barn burnt down. And then once you know that the barn burnt down, and you know that that horse was winning money for Tony and Ralph, and then they thinking, okay, well, Ralph probably did it for the insurance because we know how much of a kickback he's going to get on that. We know we got guys that could do that. Just like Tony asked him, have you heard from such and such lately? You know, he did that thing over his Artie spot, whatever. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Sluvios.
And he asked him about the arson. Yes, Sluvios. He asked him about the arson thing. So I think, to Rich's point, it probably like was the word around town once that place burned down, and now nobody's heard from Ralph. It probably people probably figured out Tony was pissed about it. He took him out.
And there's two things, Mo, to look at. First one is when we were at the Vin Casino, as soon as that picture came in, everybody's like, oh man, oh damn. Like they knew what it was when he saw that picture. Dog. They know that's his tourist, they know it's dead. Like, so that's not a surprise. They saw his reaction from it. The second telling thing, which is the most important, was Syl's response in this scene. Honestly, I don't know. That's not Syl-like. It's not like Syl to go off the record, because Syl has the same concerns. Because Syl knows, I think it was Tony too. Like, it wasn't, it was too much. When you, and here's the thing, here's the big thing. They all live the same life. They all run the same plays. They all run the same hustles. You know what I mean? When things start feeling familiar, you kind of understand how their brain works. It's no different than however many episodes back when my Wi-Fi disconnected. You and Spike had the conversation about Carmella hooking a friend up, what that was. As soon as I get back on, you asked me what I thought it was, and I had the same exact answer as Spike. Just because, like, when you kind of think alike or have those similar experiences, it's not hard to connect the dots. It didn't take any guessing to know, all right, here's what I think happened. Okay, now I figured you thought the same. They all lived that world. It was very easy to put together. Tony killed that nigga over this horse.
Facts. And I said that's his dog. I meant that's his dog, like it's his right hand. Not thinking I thought it was a dog. And two, there's no concrete evidence saying that it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Even for the skeptics, like, there's nothing that anyone can point to and be like, no, Tony didn't do that because of this, that, or the third. Like, they get to wonder and speculate, which is how you get here at this dinner with Seal saying this.
Paulie said it best in this episode. You see how Tony reacted with that picture and still no word from Ralph, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate your thoughts.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
everybody's putting this together.
Yeah.
You just can't say nothing because you can't prove nothing.
And that's a good point too, Mo. You do regard him as relatively dumb. So if he's put it together,
that's what I think when y'all said
that's what they're trying to show.
Yeah. So that's
like, it's very easy to put together. Yeah.
Worst kept secret in the circle.
Okay. That's because Albert is not a reoccurring guy you're gonna see often. I don't even know if we see him again after this.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see
him again. But like them bringing him in on an episode like this, it makes so much sense because the last time we seen him last season 3. But like, I think y'all right. Was like, okay, they're making it obvious that even a person that's not necessarily got all of the marbles in the jar, he picking it up. Then it's very to the point.
It died on the vine.
And then like the fact that like Seal already probably had some questionable moments with Tony this season already. Because he's like, okay, you made Chris take over Paulie's crew when you knew it should have been Patsy. And then now you're trying to insulate and you're trying to make in some way eventually make him like almost like Consiglieri's your number 2. You know, he's picking up these things. And even then when Silvio was making moves on his own where they were in the basement, had that conversation, Silvio and Tony hadn't really been that tight as of recent because Tony's been doing a lot of questionable things. Even when he punched Ralphie, when he told him like, hey, I understand Ralphie's a prick, but at the end of the day, that girl, she's not family, she's not blood. So all season on the a subtle way that Sopranos do a brilliant job of is showing that Silvio has been patient with Tony, but he's probably been side-eyeing Tony because he's been doing things that have low-key, even season 1, like doing therapy. He's like, in this thing of ours, we probably should talk about things, but we probably never will. Like Silvio, we never really know what he thinks, but if this was the Silvio as the main character, then we would probably get a more of an idea of that. But so I think y'all right. I like that.
They also kept with the theme of the first every season. When you were watching this in real time, they had this who's going to try to kill Tony this season. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to throw people off the scent with the Silvio stuff right here. Mm-hmm. I feel like that had a lot to do with it too. Like you said, the moments throughout the season. And most bettors would have took Ralph, but he off the board. So now you're really looking at it like, damn, so what's the threat over the next 3 episodes to Tony? And they had to start pointing the finger somewhere.
I wanted to ask y'all. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to ask y'all both. We know how things play out, and I'm not going to spoil this for Soprano first-time watchers, but do y'all think Patsy kept this in his pocket? Along with I put the grief behind me. Like in this moment when he said, hey, this is 100 years and years of tradition. And he came back to Patsy saying, that's my point. If he can do this, then any of us can get whacked over maybe over a pair of shoes. And Patsy had a look on his face. We know the theories about the end of the series, right? And I just want to ask, do y'all think Patsy kept this in his back pocket?
I've never given any real thought to it.
I've never really even thought about it. I was like the same.
Y'all probably are y'all on that theory though? As far as
first, I think one of the most important things about this scene was this conversation between Patsy and Albert, because it shows this. We saw this when was it Eugene and Chris when they got made? Was Eugene the one with Chris when they got made?
Yeah,
we saw this, man. How this is a family. What comes first and all this. All right, if this is the umbrella that we're under, then we're fucked. So as a collective, the capos are now talking about hold on, man, what's going on? And pretty much, Albert ended this scene with saying, like, if he did do this, then that guy in there would be the first one in line to pull the plug. Pretty much saying he should be the one to take out Tony. You know what I mean? So the act of the thought of violence against the boss, because he's violating this thing of ours, is a real thing. And it's not something we've really seen this explicit, I think, throughout the entire series. Outside of bosses. It's different when Junior and Tony, they power struggle. But I mean capos, people that know they ain't got no business plotting against the boss, are starting to think, like, is it time to start talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how serious this is. You killed this guy over a horse,
yep,
and you already hit him over a whore. Like, come on, man. Like, what's going on with Tony? Because they said the right thing. If this can happen to the top earner, he could easily get rid of me.
That's true. It really makes me think about the Paul Castellano hit. It really does. Well, even more with like the Carmine thing, but that's like the next episode or so. But Tony visits Ralphie Kid. Quick question. Did Tony want to be seen there on purpose, or is he looking to rationalize his feelings for whacking Ralph?
A little bit of both. A little bit of guilt, a little bit of I want some sympathy as well, to know that even though Ralph ain't around, I'm still going to be around for his kid and whatnot.
Did you think he wanted to be seen, like on purpose? Like, yes. If I'm seen here,
he had to give her that money. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like, how could I whack Ralph if I'm here seeing his son and I gave his ex-wife? Okay,
that part too. That's a great point. Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't know. It's like, it seemed like he might have sat there for so long just to wait till she got there, or whatever. But yeah, okay. Furio is at the Sopranos house, and he starts scaling back on the micro flirts. And she's like, come on in. I got coffee going and everything. And obviously she's very excited to see him. She got the fresh, dew. And she's looking like, I think she's really about to make I think Carmella was really ready to make a heavy move on this. Like when she got the hair chop, she's about to make the Vic play, but obviously it died on the vine. But Furio says, nah, I better just wait in the car. And
he ain't say nothing about her hair either.
Nah, he couldn't do that. Like
I don't even know. To keep it cool.
I don't even know the micro way of saying that. Maybe it's just like, hey, you did something with your hair.
Oh, you changed your hair. It's nice.
Yeah, probably like, oh, you changed your hair.
Innocent, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So he could have probably did that. But yeah, but at that point, like I said, he had that talk from his uncle, like, yo, fall back or fall back. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, he goes back to the car and he gives some gifts. He gives Meadow, what was this, a soap bar? And AJ a keychain, but he didn't give her nothing or whatever. He's in the car, he's crying.
Him crying in the car is one of the most disgusting scenes throughout all 6 seasons.
Because he's crying over another man's wife.
That is disgusting. Holy mackerel.
It is disgusting. You're right. Because it's like y'all never even, it ain't even like on some like y'all actually had a relationship. Like y'all haven't done anything. Y'all haven't done anything.
Crazy,
not a kiss on the lips. Not
like he lost the love of his life.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
What you sitting in the driveway crying?
Yeah, bro. Not even like some like subtle hug that felt like, oh wait, her chest is on my chest. My hands are low on her hip.
My imagination.
My imagination.
I'm crying off my imagination right now. It's insane.
That is childish.
Crying over some shit that ain't never happened is crazy.
It is. It's like this nigga was for real, like down about the fact that like I can't keep micro flirting with the boss's wife.
Tony and True. Hey, I love the cutaway when he opens the door for Tony and Tony looks at him with that scowl on his face like.
Tony got the constipated face, bro. It's so funny.
Yeah,
it's like,
but it's perfect because I'm sad for my father. All right, but you got to get over it. In the very next scene, this nigga boo-hooing about a horse.
He crying about a horse. That's hilarious.
It's hilarious how they did this.
Screen cut, yeah.
Telling this man to get over his dead father who probably ain't been gone for more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then the very next breath, crying over a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Just lets you know everything you need to know about Tony Soprano.
This thing, I feel like at this point, this is where they established the diagnosis.
I can see that.
You see, because they went away from the duck concept. Like people always said, they always felt like the ducks would have. On a subtle level, we always think the ducks are like a heavy subliminal thing when we talk about Sopranos, but it really isn't. Like we literally get one episode and that's it. Ducks are not a thing again. Well, we get them again in college. We get the pilot, then we get college. Well, that's more birds. But we always think that ducks play a heavier part in the Soprano world, but it really don't. And so I feel like at that point they just went away from it. And then when they got back to here with the pie on my thing, they really got heavy-handed because we'll see the dog part of the reaction as well. So it seemed like I don't know, and this is just a theory, but it's like this is where they established Tony's diagnosis, and that's why I feel like they really emphasized it on this episode.
I think that's a great pull. I think that's a great pull because this is one of those sessions with Melfi where it's very obvious, like Tony, like, you don't see yourself the way everybody else sees you, bro. Like you really lost. You out of touch with reality, my nigga. The sad clown, like, come on, like. And I love the fact that Melfi called him out on it. Like, you describe yourself that way, but I've never seen it, and I've never heard anybody describe it that way. It seems like something else. And how he got defensive, and how I up my Prozac. It's kind of it feeds into everything you're saying as far as this is probably the moment when it's okay. We're 4 seasons in. One of the listeners, I forget if you probably shouted him out. But he made the great point, and I should have brought it up last week. Last week was kind of the beginning of the end, or like you said, that dark Tony, or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And that plays right into that. Like we're starting to learn more and go into it and all that, man. This is episode 49, so what in reality, there's 31 more episodes. We're more than halfway through.
Wow. Yeah,
we got to wrap up Tony's story and his diagnosis and all that. In 31 episodes. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think, again, great pull, Mo. And Rich, what you said was absolutely true as well.
35. My
I
bad.
think
I'm tripping.
another indicator of that was him doing his own like self-medicating. I'm not even listening to you and what you are prescribing me, and you're the professional at. I'm gonna do it this way because it works for me. So yeah, that was probably it. I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's I look at it like this. I think I got it later in my notes, but I'll bring it here. I look at season 1. We always, for those that have been listening with us for a while, we like to kind of break down these seasons in like in an organizational way. And I look at when we talk about Tony in an organizational way, I look at season 1, season 2. We're looking at like maybe season 1 we'll call it Anthony Soprano, right? I look at season 2 and 3, and even up until whoever did this last episode, we're looking at Tony Soprano. Now, at this very moment in this episode, strong silent type, which is something he emphasized season 1. I look at this now. This is dark tone.
Mm-hmm.
We're now in the dark tone era. So we're still gonna get some fun as far as the Anthony and the Tony that will come out throughout at least season 5, but we're definitely starting the dark tone era, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is the Heisenberg era.
The Heisenberg era, yeah, absolutely.
This is the latest we've ever went without a reference, a crossover reference.
Right, that's right. This is, I'm gonna give you another reference since we in the Breaking Bad. This is the you no longer slipping Jimmy. This is Saul. It's all good, man. This is Tony right now. It's all good, man. Yeah, good. No more slipping Jimmy. That's pause probably.
No, I think you're good. I think you're in the clear.
Yeah, is it clear? All right, cool.
Yeah, slipping Jimmy's cool.
But yeah, anything else I want to add to the Melfi scene? Other than like there was that last moment where she was like, you've done something, haven't you? He just kind of got that. Like that look like, yeah, so, but that ain't that ain't my point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we only other thing I would have mentioned, we referenced already the Reverend Rodney King Jr. or Rodney King. That was just to be in the middle of a conversation like that and still have it in you to pull out some shit like that is crazy. And we talked about it earlier. Like it brings a point. Like, damn, is Tony really not know that he's not a reverend, or is he just being funny on purpose? Like it's just funny, man.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy how Tony, he has to. We know his diagnosis, but it's just a difficult thing because Tony he's internally battling with, I feel like, the little boy Anthony Soprano, where he has to feel like a good person. We go back to that episode where Artie tried to kill himself, where it's like, what am I, a toxic person? He needed to feel good about himself. So when he does these things, eventually, like I said, we getting into the dark tone era. I'm not excusing it. I don't really care what y'all think about me at this point. But like these are like the last remnants of, I still need to feel better about myself. So I gotta rationalize. I gotta come in here and cry. I gotta come in here and victimize so that I don't feel bad. Matter of fact, I'm gonna victimize so much, I'm gonna attach myself to the Reverend Rodney King. Because I need to feel like I'm in that same era. He got whipped from the police from not doing anything wrong, and I feel the same way. I identify with that, though I just murdered somebody. It's like Tony's wild, man.
There's some content. There's some content for you right there, man. I love to go back and just think about all the events that happened and all the historical events. And to get their reactions to it. The OJ trial, Rodney King, all types of shit, man.
Somebody gonna do that with AI at some point.
Oh, they do.
We got a little bit of the OJ one in the flashback episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have Tony Soprano reacting to all the world's events. That'd be a fire.
There's a dude that does Tony. There's a few people do Tony Soprano impression, but there's one dude that does it. He's really good. I'm in sending out something. He's really good though. He got a lot of followers too. But yeah, I guess that's it on the Melfi and Tony's thing. We get Adrian and the agent. That the agent brings up the rehab idea, and then there's a car that pulls up, and the dog is out the window, and it brings Adriana to tears.
Sopranos funny, man. They funny. I don't feel bad for laughing at shit because when they do shit like this, I don't feel bad for laughing because they try to.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. But Adriana got the Michael Jackson. She got the Michael Jackson jacket on though, don't she?
I swear on everything. I was about to say, man, I really miss the early 2000s.
Yeah.
What
just
part?
a certain shit the shit you can get off. Yeah. Yeah, the shit you can get off, man. It just represented the time, like when it's early 2000s was just different, man.
I do miss,
especially if he was outside.
I do miss the voicemails with the music and the ringtones. But yeah, anything else I want to add to that scene? It wasn't really.
Slide that in there was crazy. Like, where did that even come from?
The 2000s. How is that? All right.
That was the first thing that came to your mind from the early.
What else I'm supposed to say? Big old t-shirts and baggy jeans and like I'm not
just missing leaving voicemails. Like you recording the voicemail with the music, or somebody calling you. Was you like you hit play?
Like hearing somebody else's, not mine. Like I wasn't doing.
Did you do that though? Did you sing like on the?
I didn't get the concept. I didn't know you were supposed to do it like that.
You've never done that. You've never like let the song play on the voicemail.
Nah, bro, I didn't even know. I just be like, bro, how are people doing this? Like,
hey, this nigga invited a chick to go watch him hoop. He definitely had the song on the voicemail.
I probably did have it, but I didn't have the like right after. Yeah, this
Jodeci played for about 15 seconds. Then you get on. Yeah, this political. You missed me,
bro. I wasn't on game. Like I didn't know how people were doing it. I had ringtones, but
shit, man.
But yeah, loud.
He said I had ringtones. All right, man. Next scene, man.
All right, y'all didn't have ringtones.
Yeah, but it's just funny that you said it. Like,
nah, it ain't funny. Y'all, you're part of the audience. Look at him. See how they do? He had Spike. Did you have a ringtone? Did you have a ringtone?
Very rarely. Like when you were able to start downloading them for free. I never paid for a ringtone though. I can proudly say that.
Mo, you talking about
somebody call you got a ringtone when they call.
Mo, you talking about the do ringtones, or you talking about the like when I had my sidekick too. Like that was one of the times where you can get like a little preview and shit. I used to have some of those because I could get it for free. I wasn't paying for
the real joints. Yeah,
I definitely paid for a few.
That makes sense. That was the era. I ain't gonna say that.
Come on,
that's what made it funny though.
But I've done it.
That's what made the voicemail thing so funny to me, because that's kind of before your time, which made me like, well, how did you even think of that? Because that was like when I was in 8th or 9th grade. Like
that's what you
did. Absolutely.
Hey, bro, that's like the 80s. I didn't even think cell phones came out, bro.
Like this is mid-90s.
What phone was that? It's before Nokia.
That's that Wall Street phone he had on the beach.
Right. Mid-90s is when you called. You had the song playing in the background. Yo, it's me.
That was fire. That was fire. I don't care. People call it that's fire to me still.
This nigga Mo said the 80s.
That's funny.
Back when you had the briefcase, you had to carry the briefcase with the phone.
The briefcase is on the way. The beepers.
Shout out to car phones, man.
Man, I was just about to say, bring back the car phone. Bring back
the car phones.
We get Sylvia and Paulie. So they're waiting outside. I don't know exactly where they are, but Chris is supposed to bring them TVs, but he doesn't show up.
We're waiting on the TV.
Right. So does Paulie at this moment have it figured out? Because he kind of alludes to. He got to figure out here. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is the they know but they don't know concept that Big P was talking about.
Okay. No, but they don't know. Like I said, it's very important. Very important in this thing of theirs. Can't bring no accusations and no shit like that without no proof. We saw how that played out with Johnny Sacks. Like, say it or get it the fuck over. Like, I don't care what you say. If you're not able to prove it or willing to prove it, then it's null and void. It don't matter.
And again, this is probably just a Jersey thing now, too. You know, once Paulie started asking, that's when to get outside the circle. Ooh. Now it ain't just us over here. We know, we suspect anyway that Paulie, loose lips. So now that's the look that you get from Sil. Like, oh shit. Now this nigga asking me too.
And once again, just another example of people easily putting this together. Because even if Paulie didn't have an idea, because he don't like Ralph. So this is the perfect example, actually, because you got somebody who doesn't care about Ralph at all. I don't care about his well-being enough to even consider or wonder where he's been. I told y'all where y'all should check for him. But then he observed, damn, that picture came in. Tony looked like he was about to cry. That's weird. That's odd.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, he said, and still no word from Ralph, huh? Just easily how people are putting that shit together. Like it's show is masterful, man.
They are like yeah, that's fire.
And
that's me saying if I'm Paulie to Seal, like you my man's, like we go back. Is you gonna keep it real with me?
My favorite part of the scene is Seal just sipping his coffee, not saying a word.
Sipping the tea, boy.
It's bigger than our friendship. I can't even say what I want to.
I don't even want to speculate. Even off the record, I don't even want to have this. And I don't want you to have that information to go back to somebody and say, I said this. Like, I'm not even saying nothing, man, because I don't know.
Want to do that with, you definitely want to do that with Paulie. You know Paulie, you know. Chris tries to get smacked and gets smacked. Anything you want to add to that? They stole this nigga car and gun.
I don't know I'm never in my life and never will, man. Buy smack or whatever, man. But damn, 500 for an eighth?
Yeah, heroin is expensive, man.
They never had intent on selling that joint.
Obviously, I know, but the fact that he said 500 and Chris was like, "Yeah, I don't know if that's just so." Yeah, I don't know because I don't know if that's the average rate or if just Chris was just high, just said, "Fuck it, I got it." But yeah, that shit wild.
That's about for what heroin sell for an ounce. That sounds about right though.
And my nigga, where's you ain't got no. You do this enough to where you should have somebody supplying you. You shouldn't have to roll to this neighborhood looking for this shit.
I think we were supposed to get that he was that down bad. Like even his supplier ran it out because he been shopping so much.
Okay.
Now I gotta go out here looking for it, and this is what happened when you go looking for it.
He ran up
exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm assuming that whoever Chris buys it from wouldn't be some big time deal. He probably making his bones from selling to Chris, and then Chris probably just started upping his order. He couldn't keep up with it, and then he hit him up. I'm out, bro. So now he got to go find this shit somewhere.
Yeah, definitely out.
And Chris can't see himself, man. Chris can't see himself. Talking about as soon as dude put the gun in his head. As soon as dude put the gun in his head, Chris talking about something. You know who I am? Not knowing, bro. You look like a fuck. Another cross reference.
A clucker.
Yeah, another cross reference. I might have used this before. Season 4 of The Wire. Naming it Michael's mama. You know what I'm saying? He gave Michael mama a little pass when she was short a couple dollars. Kennard come up like, what you do that for? That's Michael's mom. She's a fucking dope fiend. Nigga, you ain't, do I know who you are? Nigga, you a fucking fiend. That's who you are. You about to get robbed. You taking your Benz, your phone, your money.
Like $500 in a car. That's who you are.
Yeah, you a lick.
Tell somebody that's who you are. It's hilarious. I'm sorry.
That's exactly who you are, bro. Like, come on. But the fact that he didn't like, what made you? Not what made you, because obviously you're not in your right sense of mind, but nobody believes that you anybody. If you came out talking about I'm part of the Soprano crew, then nigga, what the fuck you down here doing buying smack? All y'all weak now. And that's exactly why this shit can't go. Like, you represent more than just yourself. You represent this whole thing of ours. You can't have us out here looking crazy on the block.
In the words of Benny, everybody can't go. It's crazy. The Sopranos dinner. Tony is nuts. He's one of those people that lie so much that he progressively gets better with the lie and makes himself believe that it's the truth. Like, it's crazy how he does. It's so psychotic, bro. It's like he starts building on the lie, and it pushes the truth so far from his conscience that he really believes it. It's ridiculous. But I wanted to ask y'all, what is the thing with this with the bag inside the chicken guts? What is that? What was the they
was like, take it out. You're supposed to take that out before you cook it.
So what is that thing though?
It's like the intestines and blood from the chicken. It's like it's inside the chicken when you buy it, and you're supposed to remove that before you stuff it with like peppers or potatoes or whatever you're using to season the chicken. But yeah, that's definitely trash. And she baked it for 4 hours on the inside.
Like, that's the first thing when you buy a bird of any sort, that's the first thing they tell you to do. Like, remove this shit.
And some people use it for different stuff. Like, you can boil it. Like, I believe to get stocked or some shit like that. Like, it's usable stuff if you open that package, I think. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's definitely not supposed to be cooked inside the bird. But you're a vegetarian, though, so
right. I mean, but But
People
it's still
rolling their
crazy.
eyes
They
like,
still
what?
serve that joint. If you in that
It wasn't
position,
contaminated or nothing.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it
You
wasn't
can still
contaminated.
throw it
Okay.
away. No. It's just proper etiquette. Like it shows that you're paying attention if you took that out and you know what you're doing. If that came to the table like her mama would have never let her live that day.
Oh my gosh, she's the worst.
At one time you served the bird with the.
Right.
I should have knew something was wrong.
That one time when those hoods,
Yeah,
who
exactly.
they whipped you in the park, where you weighed
Whipped you in the park and took
where
your
you
bike.
weighed 102 pounds. Oh man, we ain't forgot. We ain't forgot, Hugh. Your wife still dogged you. We ain't forgot. Season 3, she still dogged. We will never forget that, Hugh.
The Hoods drove those. They beat you up in that park that one time. Hey, she's talking about remember?
You weighed 102 pounds. Like, bro.
Oh shit, man.
Why do you remember that? Leave that memory, please. Like, don't. I don't.
Hey, a woman ain't never forget the memory of her nigga getting his ass whooped.
Bro, I have moments that my wife will bring up things, and I was like, "Damn, I thought you forgot." I really wish you didn't bring that up. Like,
that's hilarious.
Oh man, yeah, that's good stuff.
Wasn't it funny how Karen was ignoring Tony though? Was that just her being in her bag and thinking about?
She was in La La Land. She on that wine. Furio brought this wine. I'm thinking about Furio.
My nigga said that Biomai, she's sick about him. Like she ain't heard none of that, bro. It nigga's hello.
Yeah, Tony's just in that. I mean, again, diagnosis. It's all in that. So I don't have to go crazy on that part of it, but he brings it up again. He said, "Y'all don't know what it's like to lose a pet," and he's trying to sympathize with them. And Tony's not acting. Like, this is like true, genuine feelings from Tony, which comes off really weird. But this is like, again, like I spoke earlier, I think this is where they said, okay, we figured out what his issue is going to be, and we're going to start building from that. So it feels forced in this moment, but it obviously is one of those things I feel like in the writing room was like, oh, we figured out this is what Tony's problem is going to be. We know what Livia's problem was. Now we figured out what Tony's problem is going to be. So it feels forced, but it was necessary for where they're going to take it.
I love Hugh's response. Like, oh, word, okay.
Yeah, man, he was like, whatever. I just don't want my wife.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I just don't want my wife bringing up me getting whooped no more. You know what I mean? I learned to speak less at the dinner table. We go to Chris and Adriana's house. Aid opens up the door, and she sees Chris, and he's got a bruise on his eye. And we see his junkie friend, and his junkie friend has on the jacket. Is this
the jacket? That's definitely the jacket. That's definitely the jacket.
Bro, why they do
100% the jacket?
Why they give my man Richie Aprile straight like that, bro?
Because
I was like, bro, that's crazy. Like,
it's always, and not to get super deep, we'll get into the same, but it's just funny because we live a life and we have these things and these accomplishments and these things that we gather, and one day they're just gonna be stuff that don't mean anything to anybody.
Yeah.
But to us, while we living, like, it means everything. But the people that know us, they can look and say, "Oh, that meant everything to him." But after time, man, we are each other's history. Our stories go on because of each other. And once we stop telling those stories, then all this stuff means absolutely nothing. And it's just one of those things that it's been 2 seasons since we've seen Richie. Something that his prized possession, my nigga, the way his face lit up when he gave that shit to Tony. And we saw it then with Tony, but now to know if Richie knew that jacket was with a nigga like this, you feel me? Like, it's just, like I said, we ain't got to get too deep, but I take stuff like that away when I see things like this. Like, damn, this is all.
You gonna make me cry, bro. Chill out, man.
I would have loved to see that chain of custody, man. How he got to him.
Yeah, because it's
probably insane.
Would have loved to see it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
My bad, Mo.
Yeah, bro. You better get me emotional out here, bro. That was really you're absolutely right. Because Richie really
and not to cut you off, man. I y'all know, listeners might not know. My pops. Yeah, go ahead.
Y'all keep going.
Yeah, but y'all know my pops passed 2020, and one of the things was getting to a point where you look at some of the stuff and be like, all right, you know what? I got enough memories and stuff with my pops that I don't have to hold on to this anymore. You want to hold on to everything because that's what it is. All of this shit, you got to cherish all this, and you realize that you let time go by, and it's like, you know what? this ain't even the important stuff. This is just a piece of clothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all this kind of stuff, you start getting rid of it. And when you realize and you look at things like that, it's just that memory, like, damn, like, you know what? We all, you know, unfortunately, we all gonna leave here one day. And some of the stuff we love the most, somebody gonna look at it and just like, man, get rid of this, put this shit in the trash, all that shit. And that's just what life is, man. So this is always funny.
When you cleaning out like a grandmother's house, or like I was fortunate enough to grow up with my great grandparents, and I remember cleaning out their house when they get passed along. But yeah, a lot of that stuff that had been sitting around that I had seen my whole childhood had been there for years, and you never really know the significance of it. And now when it's time to like pack up, you like just like what you said, throw this shit away.
Yeah,
not meaning any disrespect to it, just the story wasn't there with it anymore for her or my grandfather to be like, no, this came from, and this is why I keep it, you know, such a sentimental place. That shit gone.
Yeah,
it's a really great point.
That's why I felt what I felt on Another Week in the Books cross reference. How long will they mourn me? It kind of ties into that. Because what it means for you versus what it's gonna mean for the next person. It's like
what Jetty could say in New York, man. You might get missed for at least 2 or 3 hours till they like they spliff, man. It's just that's life, man. You
crazy. Wow.
Listen, it's not. It won't be cinematic, and I'm not trying to be that guy, but it won't. Like the people you fuck with, the people you love. It's almost like another cross reference. The Wire. There was in season 5, I think, when Beanie was telling McNulty, like, what do you think happens? Like, nigga, if you lucky, you might have some family. Yeah, like, well, Lester said that to him, but when she was on the porch, like, you know, when you at your funeral, when you die, like, you might have some family, and if you lucky, you get a couple friends. Like, that's what it comes down to the older you get, and it's just one of those type of things. Yeah, man, it's just silly.
Yeah, but yeah, so he's looking for a couple bucks, and
we had a jacket on with some sweatpants. Jesus Christ.
I remember one of my bros on campus wore a dress shirt, tie, and sweatpants. With dress shoes. I could not believe
you still consider him your bro. That's crazy,
bro. I don't even want to talk about it because the dress shoes he had didn't have no heel on it or nothing, bro. All right, anyway, I can't even talk about it. That's my guy.
How do you think Chris linked up with him? You think he really knew him before this, or
I think that's the one he got high in the bathroom that time. Remember?
Okay.
Yeah, I still don't know how that even happened, but I definitely think that's the one he got high with. But we get that moment where like she brings up the brochure and then he slaps her, then he punches her and punches her again. And I was just like, God, you are terrible. Like, I just hated to see Adriana get clocked like that, bro. I was just like, dang. I mean, of course, this is druggy behavior, but like, dang, the acting is good, and obviously she's not getting clocked for real, but still, it's like, dang, I just hate it. I hate seeing women get hit, bro. It just like, it's disgusting. It's just nasty, bro.
This nigga Chris went in her wallet, threw that shit on the ground, and bounced.
Yeah, bro.
It was that initial look. When you talk about the acting, it was that initial look, like that first slap, and she kind of looked back at him like, hold on, are you fucking serious? And then kept going and going, and like you said, it's nasty, man. It's really terrible to look at, but it has to paint the picture of where Chris is,
of course.
So yeah, man, some wild shit.
Yeah, it is. They start to burn. They get ready to burn the picture of Tony and Pyomai, and Paulie comes and saves the day and keeps the painting. I don't know. There's much more to add at that moment. Maybe there's more to add on the later moment, but
I can't believe you ain't commented on Paulie fit. I was waiting on that.
Well,
Paulie was fresh right there.
He's fresh. Nice Benny got on a jumpsuit too. I mean, the jumpsuit's always.
Paulie's a little bit more classier though. Like Paulie got the collar on the joint. Suede or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's probably some velour. Remember you had that velour on, Mo? Probably some shit like that.
You're right though. I see what you're saying. His is a little different. Like I do like Paulie's, but him getting his white shoes dirty for the painting is crazy though. What are you doing, bro?
30 G's.
Yeah, I guess them white shoes is probably $50.
Paulie going to get them shined anyway.
Yeah, he probably got. We know later he gonna have like 15 pairs of them same shoes. So he probably like whatever.
Yeah.
These are the same shoes he was running in the forest chasing down Mikey Palmisi. So it's like he don't care about them things. Them Air Forces to Paulie. We go to the next scene. Adriana comes to the Soprano household, and she talks to them and tries to tell them, like, pretty much, I don't know what to do anymore. And she, Tony tries to call. It's so interesting here that they saved the dog sitter thing right here. They didn't. You would think right here they would have got like a real strong reaction, but they saved it, which I think it really works, because it seemed like at this moment he put his hands on me. He's been getting high and he's this, because even then Tony still seems like he's kind of trying to, like, I won't say defend Chris, but it seems like he's like, all right, hold on, take it easy. Let's just not jump to conclusions here. Like, he still seemed like because he already know Chris been getting high. So I don't know. It just seemed like a different sentiment, of course, until we get to the actual,
It's funny because you never go ahead, Spike.
I think it crossed his mind briefly, like, well, did you cheat on him? Or like something like, did you do something out of the way? Like, it briefly crossed his mind, and he was hoping it was that other than him getting high.
And not only that, because that's definitely one of those things in society. If you're a civilian, you're not supposed to ask that question. It really doesn't matter. Like, what I'm saying? Right. My sister, cousin, whoever got hit, I'm not asking what you did. But it does make sense on brand for Tony, because he's in the information business. He collects information. Big or small, we talk about how observant it is. Spike just made the point. A, you could be on some this could be the drug problem popping up, because that's an issue for me now. Because of the shit that me and Chris got, our skeletons that we done buried, literally. That's going to be an issue. So I got to make sure he's staying clean, because he told me he was going to stop. And B, I just really need all the information to know how to approach this. You know what I mean? I just want to know what happened, because I have to, reprimand him.
Yeah. She asked him not to hurt him. Again, it gets me. I mean, I guess most people, I imagine, watching The Sopranos, that she just loves him this hard, and she just believes in the good in him so much since season 1. But yeah, it's just like, dang, bro.
A lot of people who have been abused have that soft spot. Like,
that's why I said it's very real.
They'll call the cops, and then as soon as the cops get there, no, please don't do it. We've been cross-referencing Breaking Bad half measures. When Mike tells that story, when he tells that story, like, it happens all the time. So it makes perfect sense. Our first reaction, even though she's black-eyed, she's crying, her first instinct as a woman, as somebody who loves him, please don't hurt him. Like, I know he's better than what he's showing us right now. And only a woman can do that for you, if you would do it. Only a woman can do that.
Yeah, women are wonderful, man. Y'all really different, for real.
Yes, sir.
Paulie hangs up the painting. But I just gotta ask, like, what does this do for Paulie? It kind of confused me. I mean, of course we know he has some weird, he's very superstitious, but like, what does this do for Paulie? Like, having this painting, like, he had this little smirk, and he went on to watch his TV, which will probably be the TV we'll be in on this episode. But like,
I think he's proud of Tony. Like, he remembers Tony being a little boy and not having the makings of a varsity athlete. So I think this is an example of how he kind of admires Tony, even as an OG. Like, he don't look up to him per se, but he did get to see him grow up and to grow into the boss that he, like, respects Tony to be. I think this was like, it's a form of admiration. Now, it ain't this scene, we ain't got to it, and mini spoiler, but when Tony sees it, like, Paulie can't believe that he asking him why he would have it hanging in his house, or that he thought it was a joke. Like, I think it goes to how he views Tony.
I agree with Spike. I'm going to tweak it a little bit. I don't even know if Tony really matters in that situation. I think it goes to the fact that it's the boss. I got the boss hanging in my room. So anybody that comes through, all due respect to Bleak, but it's much more impressive to have a picture with Hove than it is to have a picture with Bleak, or to have a picture with Petey Crack or something like that. You know what I mean? If you walk, that's a conversation starter. Somebody walking in your crib, you got a picture of Tony in your crib. Like, damn, like, and it's professionally done. Like, yeah, he could make up whatever story to make himself look a certain way, because the boss is in my room. I just feel like that status symbol, it meant something like that, and it's tied in a little bit to what Spike said. Like, I've known you since you was a kid, my nigga. Like, look at you with the horse, man. You a G. And this is Paulie's resourceful, man. It's too nice of a picture and a frame to just be burning. Y'all got me fucked up.
Wow. I guess I just
plastic on it.
right. I guess I didn't gather that because of his sentiment towards Tony from the moment he got out. What do you hear? What do you say? And him asking for money. Then the last episode, like him like immediately saying, "Hey, you think he wears a bag?" Speaking of bags, my ma, like it seemed like his respect for Tony has been dwindling. So I guess I didn't necessarily get that read on it. But
See,
more
I
than
played those. I even
fair.
took those two things in the sense of like that's him feeling like he can be like he's not gonna talk about that with anyone else. Like that's him removing a layer and not being Paulie Walnuts like he would with everyone else and having some alone time with Tony and wanting to share personal stuff with him and hoping Tony feels a certain type of way and they can talk about it and Tony would open it up to him too. That's the reason that's why Johnny Sack was able to manipulate the situation so good. He felt like that Johnny was opening up to him and we can talk. And not saying that he looks at Johnny in the same way, but that what Johnny gave him is what he was looking from Tony. And just conversation treated me like I'm a real person versus Paulie Walnuts.
wow, great pool. Yep.
Yeah, that's a great point,
Yep.
man. Especially when you don't got nobody like Paulie.
Because he lives for that thing. We'll find out in the Remember
Absolutely.
When episode. Like, was that season 6? Yes, season 6, I think. But we find that out, like that's what this is all Paulie has. And so I think Spike dead on. Carmella and AJ, they visit Furio, and again, when he opens the door, she calls him the nickname Fure. It's crazy.
AJ.
He gives Carm this gift is of a 35-year-old balsamic vinegar. And Furio says that he felt like a visitor in his own hometown. Spike, I wanted to ask you, have you got to that point yet?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
I still know my hometown, but when I go back, it's completely different. People doing different things. You see different shit. It's like, man, this was not like this 10, 15, 13 years ago or whatever it's been. Yeah, 100% I feel that.
Wow. Yeah. Anything y'all want to add to the scene as far as the, kind of the little subtle, a little bit of micro flirtation, not as much as before, but, her again just creating these moments to like have time and be in his space and,
This one should have been like this should have been a kiss or AJ slips off on the phone and they get it in. Like this would have made this storyline more worthwhile, had more been put on the line in this specific situation. Because this is before we get to a lot of other serious shit. So this is the perfect time to slide it in and to have us think some different shit about Furio, but they wasted the opportunity, this whole storyline.
Told you, Mo. That's my one gripe with this whole storyline. You give us all this shit, but nobody made a move. No kiss, no Vic. Vic even got some. Mm-hmm. Not no ass, but he got a kiss.
He right though, yeah.
Even Father Phil got closer than Furio did.
Yeah. Hey, that was nasty shit. Father Phil had the fucking giving her. Hey man, she was on her knees with her mouth open with the communion.
Wild, bro.
Hey,
that was bro. I was like, yo, what are you doing?
Open up.
Man. Like with the fire in the background. I'm like, bro.
It'd be different if they were sitting on the couch. She was on her knees, mouth open. Come on,
and
man.
then like the editing choice of them zooming in, it was so weird. Y'all go back to season 1. Look at College, man. I think episode 5 or 6, something like that. Like, go back and check that out. But yeah, absolutely. Okay, I feel y'all. I think I think that the reason that we don't get that execution, spoiler alert for those that are watching, like we don't get the execution as far as the Furio Carmella storyline. I think that it's supposed to keep us on the lines of complex women characters where we're trying to figure out, is she good, is she not good, kind of, you know what I mean? That's what it keeps us on, because like, oh well, she just robbed Tony, as y'all said a couple episodes ago. He was like, okay, she's bad, but then you like, okay, well, she's wanting to do this, but she don't, but then we're about to find out what Tony does. I think it's kind of, go ahead.
My fault. When you say good or not good, are you talking about morally?
I guess what I'm trying to say is like not good. Like I hate when people, I'm good person. Everybody's flawed, so I don't believe in good person. But like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, is she
Does she stand on her principles?
Like stand on her principles. Like she's like more of a decent Italian American carrying herself versus like a Tony and the mob guys is like in this world, in this show, like scumbags. Like, you know, because I talk about everybody has their own code. You know what I mean? So it's like I think they were trying to keep it there to keep us invested in the complexity of a woman character like Carmela, like where we'll leave at the end of it and say it's a mixed bag when we talk about how we feel about her. You know what I'm saying? Like some people are like, oh, she's terrible. She did this and did that. And some people are like, she really wasn't terrible. She had the right because of this. I feel like them not executing that line, I mean, that relationship between them two was trying to keep us kind of on the ropes still, maybe.
And that's a great point that you said, Mo, because I know I say it all the time whenever I see her flirt and get ready for Furio, when I talk about how that's nasty work. Like I never wanted to get confused with the fact that she's well within her right. If she wanted to step out, then nobody gonna say shit to her. Because I think that gives. I don't want it to be like one of those like let Tony do whatever he wants to. Carmela got to be at home, and anytime she even thinks about doing some shit, we got to chide her, and because we ain't some type of niggas. It's just the way she's going about it. Like I respect more when you just on some like, yeah, fuck it, I'm with it. You know what I mean? One day I might be free. Like shut the fuck up. One day I might be free.
If she didn't bring, that's the thing. Like she brings AJ with her. That's her restraint dog, right?
That's like, the nasty part about it, though. Like,
that's what keeps her from doing it.
Like, bring your son, your child, have an affair, act like an adult for once.
Right.
I just think she just got a different idea about who she thinks she is. That's why I'm glad we'll get to the rose scene, of course, because she just has this idea of like she wants both, and she don't know how to like because she can't live with certain guilts, which makes her a lot more human than Tony. People won't give her credit for, but we'll have that conversation when we do a Carmela, which that won't be in the break, y'all, for the Carmela breakdown.
I think she can't. My bad. I think more than her not being able to live with certain guilt, it's her not being able to live with the consequences. I think it's more so that.
You don't think consequences got guilt in it?
Well, I think that she's more directly worried about the consequences. With
like maybe like divorce type thing?
Divorce, losing the status, losing the money, what Tony gonna do to the dude. Like she's worried about that.
Giving out sausage samples.
I'm not giving Carmela the benefit of the doubt. I think she's a morally upstanding person. Like, because like the psychiatrist told her, bitch, you aiding and abetting. Like, you know exactly what's going on, and you creating a happy home for this man. So I ain't giving her no moral compass.
Well, but everything that she's been let ride has been based on like I've accepted things about my terrible husband that is making blood money. But this to me, I think you're right. I think you're more right. I think it is more status and things that come with the life more than guilt. But I do think guilt is a part of that too for her. Not the driving force, but because I think when it comes to like, if I make this decision, then how am I going to feel about myself? I think that is her thing. That's why we'll see some interesting season 5 storylines. I do think that is a part of her thing. Like it's this weird. It's just a weird thing that she was doing. But then again, you say, well, what would happen if Vic came through that day? So I get it, but I think you're absolutely right. I think it's more of the status and all that, more than guilt. But yeah,
they just said he had to go to Comp USA to get a magic stick.
Got shit to do,
bro. AJ was hilarious.
To pick up a magic stick is crazy.
AJ,
wild, man.
AJ, yeah. What? Yeah, that's pause, bro.
Pause before the pause, man. AJ was pausing before pause.
Yo, 50 Cent. Never mind. Svetlana, Tony, and Furio. She got the MacBook, bro. What is this?
Yeah, man, she got the Mac, man. Listen, she out here.
Hey, I don't know. Yeah, she got the hookup.
She connected.
She definitely connected. But yeah, Tony pulls up. Yeah, he's trying to see about his uncle. They pour some of Furio's wine. Svetlana like, I need to put some ice in this.
Ice.
Which kind of speaks it's probably a status thing, you know, obviously like she come from a different beginning or whatever, but she's making a website. Tony's in awe of her at the fact that she has one leg, but she's making a website. I mean, I don't know how to put it. I got some heavier things I want to talk about in that regard, but we're not there at that moment. Anything I want to add to that scene?
No.
Okay.
I just think it was an important scene just to how everybody's viewed each other, like the cultural differences,
Okay.
and how she never even, nobody in her upbringing even let her think about using that as an excuse. You ain't got a leg, so what? You can sit out here and do whatever. And that's the mindset she has versus, she even said it, that's what's wrong with you Americans. Like you guys think that,
I can't wait to get there.
Yeah. That wasn't the scene?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, my bad. All right, then no, I don't have anything else to say.
No, I'm with you though. I cannot wait to get there because I get there. Tony and Junior.
No, we had Paulie. Well, that's a small scene.
Paulie's cleaning up and he looks at the painting and does he feel like Tony's looking at him? What was this? I just got an
idea. He had a revelation.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit! You know what to make this fire?
Mm.
And it makes perfect sense that he's using that old school sweeper. But listen, I would, for all y'all listening out there, I would love for you to hit up the DM. I want to get some insight on what you thought about Paulie in the picture. I would love to hear other opinions on what they think Paulie's intent with the picture was, his driving force, all of that. Even that little small glance, like we see what he does with it, but everything. I'd love to hear some other people's thoughts on that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Paulie's very superstitious. So that I know it's something in that. That's all I know. It's something whatever Paulie's belief and superstition is, it's something built in that. So, but yeah, absolutely, like you said. GoodEarnerPod _Sopranos on Instagram or goodearnerpod@gmail.com for the email. Or leaving a comment on YouTube. I will say this too. Paulie and Patsy, I'm not spoiling anything, but I think this episode is just really interesting. When you look at where season 6 lands, I think these are moments that you put in your back pocket. I want both of y'all brothers to just kind of put that in your back pocket because when we get to season 6 and we start getting closer to the finale, I got theories and things that have already been out there and some questions I want to ask, but we're not there yet, obviously. But now we get to Tony and Junior, and Tony pretty much pours in shot glasses wine because he's dealing with Junior. But Tony's trying to figure out a way out of whacking Chris by getting him in the rehab. What did y'all think about this conversation between Uncle Junior and Chris? I mean, Uncle Junior and Tony.
Well, Uncle Junior's not wrong, man. And it just goes to the preferential treatment that Chris gets. And that's another thing I know I mentioned earlier about the capos finally seeing, Tony out of pocket for this. We got enough in us to step up and say something. You got to know that ain't no way none of us will get the same treatment. Nobody's coming over our crib for an intervention. Nobody's doing any of this. Like, we out of here. You know what I mean? We won't hear it coming. So I don't know, man. It's just funny how that hard process works because you see Tony's emotional connection to Chris, but you the boss, man. You got to make those tough decisions. Mm-hmm. You got to make the business call on this one. And Uncle June was 100%. Even when he told him, like, you with the strength, this one with the drugs, like, we definitely here at the end. My name, nigga. Yeah, we definitely here at the end because y'all got me. Y'all fucked up. Ain't no way none of this shit would have been going down back in the day.
Mm-hmm. I do think Uncle Junior was right, just like Rich said. But there's an interesting point in it, in the sense of we talked about Tony making a turn and being a dark Tony now, but this directly conflicts with that because at first I felt like that Ralphie in that situation that Chris helped him in was keeping Chris alive. Because just like you said, anybody else would be dead if this was them. Sure. So you look at it and you think, okay, well, maybe Tony is keeping him alive because he kept his secret. But that don't really line up with Tony, though. Like, if Tony, if we're doing like what we've seen in the previous episodes and the rest of the seasons, as Rich said, we more than halfway through now. It makes more sense for him to be like, yeah, you know what? Let's kill him. Because he got this dirt on me that could possibly come out that could be against me one day. And we've always seen Tony kind of operate in that, except to when it comes with Christopher. So that's that one kind of like guiding light that keeps him from being completely dark Tony at this point, as I was thinking about it. Because there's no reason that he shouldn't agree with Junior right here.
But don't you think that even my nephew being a junkie, he says your family, your blood, and Tony does not want to only have two options. He wants that third option. He don't want dead or jail. He wants that other option where I can see my grandchildren.
Well, that's the thing. It should only be one option though. He should be dead. Like this is a rule. You don't play around with drugs in the mob. Like this is a killable rule.
But I'm saying Tony, I think Tony is looking at they're in at the end. I'm trying to do things different. And he spoke about some other mob boss that was old.
Going to rehab and shit.
Yeah, so I think that of course, like preferential treatment, but I think Tony is sold on that third option. I want to be able to find a way to retire and bring him into the 21st century where I can see my grandchildren, like he spoke about a few episodes ago. That's the only reason I think he's living, because it's like it's either dead or jail for us mobsters. There ain't no really getting out, but if I bring him in, he's doing all of the day-to-day. That's the only reason. I mean, the family part, but I think the family part, not just for him being family, but like I'm trying to insulate, and I need him. I can't do this with Silvio because he's not blood.
I can't even trust him, though. This nigga smoke dope. I can't trust him to be everyday, day-to-day, even if he gets over it. Like there's a saying in for y'all that are not in the black community, like once you smoke crack, you always a crackhead.
Yeah.
Like you could be 20 years clean. That's cool. I commend you. I'm happy for you. You may never smoke crack again, but people still are going to look at you as a crackhead.
That's true.
So.
Yeah. We get Ro. Ro goes over. I mean, Carmela goes to Ro's house. I didn't know Ro had a.
Ro living good, man.
Yeah, that spot was kind of nice. I was like, y'all need that.
It's a nice deck on the back, nice woods and all that, man. Yeah, nice spot.
I dig that. I was like, that was definitely one of the flyest moments. But Carmela has this conversation with Ro, and Ro was telling her about she was trying to cheat, or maybe she did cheat at one point, but she
did cheat, nigga. Ro was out here getting
Ro was getting busy
at the gym. She knew exactly who Carm was talking about.
Ro was getting stretched at the gym.
Getting mashed potato. She was.
That's why Ro looking at her like, you a child. This is childish. Ro feel like I feel like this is childish, nigga. You ain't even fuck this nigga.
Why you even come to me for advice? Right. Fuck him first.
Because what Ro was saying that like it's too much. And she's like, Ro did express her sentiment as far as like I was too nervous. I was looking over my shoulder. I had to cut it off, and then shortly after, Jackie ended up being in the hospital.
She only thinks that because of what they do. If he was an accountant, I don't think she would give a shit.
Oh, that's facts.
He mentioned like, if he has one iota of what's going on, he'll do the Furio. I think that's the only reason she was looking over her shoulder. I don't think she felt bad. She was like, I know what my husband's capable of. I don't want to get this nigga caught up. See what happened to Ted. Ted got his motherfucking neck broken.
That's true. But if he was an accountant, then she probably wouldn't even have to, But
all right.
Yeah, I did feel like it was some foreshadowing though. Like,
damn, and she got the Skylar White haircut too. Damn.
Nah, we ain't gonna call we are not calling Carm Skylar. Like, she's not Skylar. Skylar's worse.
I ain't say it. I just said they had similar dudes, man. That's all. Man.
I know, man. I can't let y'all do it. I'm not a
They cousins.
Fan.
They cousins.
They cousins.
They on the same street. Yeah, they on the
same
street.
Definitely.
They neighbors.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, though, Mo. It is. There's nobody. Skylar's in her own category.
Yeah, because Carm was still like on some like I can accept his Gumars. I can accept. Like, yeah, Skylar was just. I don't think we'll ever do. Yeah, that part. Like, I don't think we're going to do a Breaking Bad podcast, but if we happen to do a Breaking Bad podcast, y'all would get
Skylar had zero. She had zero fear about Walter. She had no respect.
Nothing.
Zero fear.
One of the most heartbreaking moments in TV history when Walt went looking for that money and it was gone.
Bro. Like,
that nigga was laughing hysterically. Like, I cannot believe she gave this nigga this bread.
Bro. I am the one who knocks at the door, bro.
Shit,
I am the danger. Like, she's still not looking at you like you the danger, bro. Like that alone. Like, you're a science teacher in her eyes. Like,
Open to a certain point.
Breaking Bad podcast coming soon. It's like,
Yeah, man. Thrones, Breaking Bad, and The Wire.
yeah, man. Just put y'all list us down, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, shout out to niggas on the throne.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
niggas on the throne.
they want this to happen, so they swear they're trying to make facts work. But I'll tell you this much: if we start another podcast, there's going to be some money behind it. I promise you that. Like, if we do another TV one from the blacks, it's definitely going to be some money involved.
Blacks is crazy.
Yeah. They ain't no worse than niggas on the thrones. What you talking? Like, come
Way
on.
worse than niggas on the throne.
Get out of here. Coloreds would be worse. Blacks is cool. I'll take blacks.
I want the artwork to look like a Cash Money album cover or them old Master P joints, them No Limit joints.
You want the
pixel joints, the pixel with the ice and shit. Yeah, man, all that shit. Niggas with three niggas on the throne, and they
and shit.
Hell yeah, with they Jon Snow fur on, nigga. That shit would be hard.
Crazy.
That shit would be hard.
These guys. Oh man, y'all are something. I can't believe you guys. Y'all are wild, bro. I can't do this because I can't have this conversation again. Because
we ain't even got a podcast. I just want that picture and I'll hang it up in the crib. That shit. I'll be on some Pauly shit.
I do the picture, but I am not niggas on the throne. I am not. I would not be participating on niggas on the throne, bro. But anything else y'all want to add to this Ro and Carmella scene?
I really fuck with Ro, man.
Ro is a real.
I really fuck with Ro. I fuck with Ro.
I do. I really like Ro. I do.
That's a real friend to have right there.
Yeah, she is. I don't know. Ro's special, but Ro might be. She may be a character analysis in the future. We got plenty.
She deserved Furio or Bobby, not Ralph. That's what we deserve.
Yeah, she do.
Furio or she do. Bobby.
Like she had a Bobby, man, she would be glowing. Like she had a Bobby in her life, she would glow. She just want to be loved, man. She don't want nobody to say after her son has died, what do I get out of the deal? It's crazy.
Facts.
Man. Shouts out to Rosalie. The family meets with Dominic.
This is
yeah, here we go.
Not this, man. I'm sorry, man. They bring the cookies over. Carmella don't even take one. She just takes the tray so she can pass it to Furio. Man, y'all make me sick, man.
Yeah, they do make me sick. It's the yeah. It's just a micro flirtation. Like they do a good job because they're not saying anything. Like, you know how hard that is to do as a director. Even
no one notices either.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as a
that's
director,
what makes it so frustrating as viewers. Like, we're the only one that picks up on this bullshit.
Yeah, and that's the point. Like, as a director, as actors, like they have to give these subtle. You see it, I see it, they don't see it, and they gotta act like they don't see it, and we gotta act like we do see it, but we can't be super obvious. That is brilliant. That's what this show is so legendary. It's like it's very, but yeah, Ricks, you hit it on the nose. Like that, like whole, like, oh, let me grab this just so I can get. Like, bro, this is like classic in high school when they say, hey, get in teams or get in groups, and you trying to get in a group with the fine girl, and so everybody grouping up, and you try to be like, yeah, I mean, I could get in y'all group. Y'all only got 5 people. They say we gotta have 6 in the group. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that, man. Bitches was asking to be in my group.
Nah, there's somebody. It's coming. Somebody listening know exactly what I'm talking about. Nah, you ain't been in a group. It's like man, you trying to play it cool. Like, hey, I got 5 people. Like, I could be in your group. You knew what your play was. You about to try to get at. You about to try to get at homegirl. Whose house is this?
I don't know what this is.
That's why I was very confused. Like they meet the guy that's going to be the interventionist, but whose house is this? Like
that ain't his house.
I definitely don't think he's a 2-time loser. He's a scumbag in the words of Pauly.
He look like he holding court. He's sitting in the big chair. Everybody else on the sofas and stuff. Like he might have turned his life around. Like that looks like it's his chair. Everybody else kind of like taking the sofa. You don't usually sit in the main chair if it ain't your crib.
Okay, I guess we can do his crib. It's just I guess I didn't get no idea of what he really did, unless he's like some kind of like scammer. But Paulie says
Casey Jones, man. That's what he does. It's Casey Jones. Shout out to all my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans.
Hey, come on, man.
Show the fuck is.
Hey, man, shouts out to Culture Guard, man. That was a great episode.
Ski mask and stuff. The show is. Man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that, Mo.
Oh, yeah, that is him.
Absolutely.
Now I put it together.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh,
I don't know if y'all ever seen Shooter either. He was in Shooter. I fuck with Shooter, man. That's my shit.
Mark Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony and Valentina, they ride over to Johnny Sacks, wherever he is on the I guess on the edge of the pier where the ocean is or whatever. Did this feel off to y'all, him riding over to another capo to talk business with his Gumar?
No. They just headed somewhere. Johnny Sack called him on the way. Hey, man, stop and holler at me. I'm going to be over there anyway.
I think we didn't see the part that you probably would have needed to see, Mo. I'm sure he got that call. He was like, hold on, man, I'll hit you up later. I'm doing this at the third. And Johnny probably made it a point like, nah, I need to see you right now. And he was like, man, whatever this is, let me go stop by. It ain't no thing. Like, Johnny ain't about to say shit to Carmella about seeing him with the Gumar. So let me go see what this nigga talking about, then we on about our way. That's probably another reason why Tony was so annoyed in this scene. Like, nigga, what the fuck? It's so important that I got to stop my plans and come see you under this damn bridge.
Well said.
I really didn't like Johnny Sack here. Like, nigga, back up, bro. Like,
Johnny Sack was right though, man.
Why?
Technically, he right because that's our plug, bro. Like, you can't be eating without me. And I put you on.
Who's their plug?
Zellerman. Y'all know him through me. That's my business. Everything that go down through me. I want pieces on all y'all motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we had a different conversation about, but maybe you're right.
Nah, that's the same sense that he had. That's the same sense he had. Like, nigga, that's our plug.
All right. Okay.
Like, damn, nigga, you made 100 racks from the nigga I introduced you to? Damn, you couldn't tell me? I couldn't, like, what the fuck is up?
Give me no envelope or nothing? Like, damn, what's up? We ain't cool?
How you find this out, though? That's all about how you find this out, bro.
Ain't none of your business.
That's what he asked him.
Just know I know. It's bigger than Nino Brown. Just know I know, nigga.
I was happy that Tony walked off like this because I was really annoyed with Johnny Sack. And I'm a Johnny Sack fan, but I was really annoyed with him here. I'm like, bro, get off. But
this go to that glorified crew thing. It's his New York looking at like, bro, y'all, you doing too much, bro. Like, I'm letting y'all eat. As long as you keep it over in Jersey, it's cool. And if you come over here because you so happen to get that lucky, make sure I'm included, nigga.
Well,
like Rico said, nigga, no fried rice, no spare ribs, no duck sauce, no nothing.
No champagne,
my
nigga.
Money.
See, but what it is they call him a glorified crew and they downplaying they hustle for real. But when they get to them big bags, it's like, oh, they're not a glorified
That's fair
crew.
to say too.
No, that's that. So you're absolutely right. That's what it is. It's like, oh, we not glorified crew when it meets your end. You know what I mean?
But
so
that goes even more to it. Like a real crew is not going to miss that tax. This is how our business works, my nigga. This is how everybody gets money. You can't leave me out and it be above board. If you leaving me out, it's some tricks going on somewhere, nigga. And I'm fully aware of something going on, and I'm letting you know that I know. So y'all can keep doing this, and you can have the repercussions of being a glorified crew, or you can do like a proper crew is supposed to and give me my money.
Yeah, my nigga.
You said, however you want to do this.
But think about it.
Yeah. You drove over in the Tahoe. I'm in the S500. Like, I'm still New York, my nigga.
Till they get that caddy, boy. But look. But think about why he let it ride. Because if I gotta mention it and I gotta get my cut, guess who I gotta mention it to?
Yeah, now Carmine got to get his cut.
Exactly. So you ain't really, you know what I mean? You ain't really what you ain't really for real.
I speak on behalf of the boss though.
Yeah, you do.
Like you would be better, and that's why I didn't like how Tony handled this. You would have been better working out a deal with me and me keeping my mouth shut. Versus now I got to go tell Carmine that this is going on, and now you finna get hit for what I get and what he get.
He should have gave him that 7,000 for them pipes.
Give me my bread.
He should have gave him that.
Oh, hey,
7,000 for them pipes.
Okay, my fault.
I said plural. If I said
yeah,
singular,
you did. I didn't hear the plural. Yeah, I
that's why I was like singular.
That's why I was like, all right, I'm gonna let you live. My bad.
No, that's good.
But hey, listen. This goes right into we can talk about it when we get to them at the Beam. But the fact that Tony once again saw a play out of that conversation is insane. Nigga found himself an out.
Just moves.
I'm not jealous of you. I envy you. We go to Paulie. He wants to get Tony painted like Napoleon. He said, "Oh, he's much bigger than Napoleon." I said, "Like Napoleon." I don't have nothing to add to that. It's just some more humor to add to a very funny episode. Anything I want to add to that?
Mm-hmm. No, that's it.
Okay. And here we go. We get
he said
to
he's rather portly. He didn't even say he's much big. He said he's rather portly.
Yeah, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny. Tony talks to the Mob family. What a lie. He says Johnny may be behind Ralph's death because of the HUD thing. Really creative here. Here.
This guy's fucking more creative than Spielberg.
Yo, I don't know who's a better bro. Like, bend the rules more than the Catholics. I don't know who's a better liar. I was listening to a pod today. Tony or Omar Epps in Raising Canaan. How fast this nigga came up with a lie. Like, hey, wait a minute. You know about Laverne Thomas? This nigga made up a whole lie on the spot. Quick.
Spoiler alert. That was just the most recent episode.
Bro, that was like a week ago. If y'all ain't caught up, then
that was the most recent episode.
Yeah, about to say it was like 5 days ago.
5 days ago. Live with it.
Now you gotta think if somebody was listening to this and they watching and they ain't watch it, they'd be pissed.
Well, that ain't that, but that don't change no plots. Like him like making up the lie on the spot. It ain't change the plot or nothing. But you know what I mean? Like how fast he's like, oh, y'all told me not to even.
He is good. You're right. He ain't got shit on Tony.
The lie on the spot was crazy.
That pivot was amazing. Yeah, that was a Kobe Bryant pivot. Like,
that really was.
That man had footwork. Nigga. That was footwork right there.
This was next level by Tony.
I'm rarely surprised by Raising Canaan. I was surprised at that. I was like, oh shit. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, Omar Epps is in his bag too. What was you gonna say, Rick?
No, I'm just this Tony coming up with this was just crazy. Like it's just he found himself an out and took full advantage of it. Just masterful work.
It is. Yeah.
Just the thought process, at least. The execution, whatever. But the thought process to even get it and bring this to the table. So now all you need, if you take some shit to trial, not saying this will go to trial, obviously, but all you got to do is prove reasonable doubt.
Yep.
And now you got it in niggas' heads like, damn, this makes sense.
Yeah. This is the amazing part. Because we look at it like, as viewers, Tony may be slipping throughout the whole episode because people are murmuring and whispering, Tony probably did this, and the third. But just when we think that he's playing checkers just like everybody else, he hit us with the chess move. And now nobody in that room can question it. It don't matter what you've heard. It don't matter what you think you know. I'm the boss. Here's what I think happened. And now people got to at least take a step back and be like, I mean, you know what? It could be true. Yeah. So brilliant, masterful work.
It is masterful. And it's like Tory Lanez. Like,
yes, great. That's a really
it's way out there, but it's like
Jesus Christ, that's a good one.
You knew you did it, or you knew you couldn't confirm if you did it, but you knew the fact that you were strapped. So it's like I can't argue I'm innocent, but I can't argue that you don't have a case.
You did enough to make people question it.
That's it. I got it. All I got to do is have something to
wonder.
Yeah, that's it. And that's what Tony's doing. Is like I just need to create proof for you not to have a solid case that I did it. Yep. That's it. It's not even about.
And now that I've said this and I'm the boss, there's going to be repercussions if you're saying something different.
There you go.
So not only am I saying this goes, but you can't even talk about it no more. This is what happened.
Mm-hmm. And if I get more time, I'm gonna keep adding to that lie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Tony does best. And we finally get to the funniest scene and funniest episode of arguably of the series. We'll get to the Christopher intervention scene. it's so weird because the apartment. This is Christopher's apartment, right?
What'd you say? It's Chris' apartment? Yeah, it's his apartment.
It's Chris' apartment.
Hey,
Okay, I
you're
don't know
the
why.
guy that broke into Stu Leonard's that time, right? Stole those pork loins.
All right, bro, they're looking at you. Yeah, they laughing at you, kid.
Oh, shit.
But like, I don't know why the apartment seemed bigger to me. I don't know, maybe because of how they set up for the intervention, but it just felt bigger to me than it normally does when they had a TV and Adriana and him on the couch or whatever. But yeah, you're the guy that stole the pork loins. We get Adriana's response. She said when we was together at first, we used to have sex a lot, and basically you can no longer perform as a man. Silvio responds and says, hey, he wrote his down. He says, one day at the Bing, I caught you. You had your head and your hairs in the toilet. Disgusting.
It's disgusting.
And he says, I spoke my piece.
I was sick.
Bro.
Listen.
Bro.
This we gotta dig into this just for a couple of things. For one, it's just incredible how this is something that you would never, especially back in 2002, whatever this was, you would never expect to see the mafia or mob involved in an intervention.
Mm-hmm.
The Sopranos is brilliant enough to bring it straight to your living room.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this is exactly how you think it would go from top to bottom. You know what I mean? And just the fact that, imagine Chris waking up I'm sure he was high, waking up and seeing everybody in his crib. Like, what the fuck? And then, you see this random dude, like, hold on, I don't even know you, but I do know you stole them pork loins. Like, what the fuck is you doing? And they talking about the drug problem. And the way they set it up like a real intervention and Chris's reaction to it, just when Adriana's talking, and this nigga Dominic is like egging her on, like, go ahead, be specific. It's like, this nigga Chris, is this really fucking necessary? Bro. Like, there's nothing like hearing some shit about your man. It's like, whoa, damn, my nigga, you out here, you all right?
And Paulie's look when he says you can no longer perform as a man. Paulie looking like
disgusting,
yeah,
wasted opportunity.
Right, because Paulie looking like, bro, I could take care of that for you. I could take it off your hands. I mean, I already sniffed the panties. Like Paulie looking at it like, oh man, I didn't even know. I don't even feel bad no more. Like, but
my
you know what?
Paulie looked to the side like it should have been me.
That part, that he definitely should have been me. But you know what was funnier now than it has ever been? When Carmella came. This wasn't funny. I've watched it so many times, and it was never as funny as it was this time when I watched it. Carmella says, I happen to know you was at my mother-in-law's wake, and you were high for 20 minutes speaking gibberish.
Fucking jaw-jacking. You was up here jaw-jacking for 20 minutes, bro.
Bro, telling somebody, telling somebody you have been speaking gibberish.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm gonna start using it. Hey, you talking gibberish?
Yeah, gibberish.
I haven't heard that in so long. That had me crying when I was writing notes. She said, I happen to know for 20 minutes. Carmella, why are you paying so close attention? And how long were you looking at the clock?
Listen, I get Carmella. I'm shooting Carmella some bail because if a nigga, especially in a setting like a funeral, like this nigga just came up and started talking nonsense to me. Bro. Like, what the fuck is you on, bro? Like, you all right?
They say. I'm sorry, that was so much funnier this time than anything. But Chris, so that they're going through it, and Tony's like, it's not, it's Tony's not about me.
When he found out about the dog.
Oh my gosh.
You killed the dog?
Like you always talking about James Gandolfini's facial reactions, man. This was a master class, nigga.
Bro.
He's so mad. He's so mad.
He was triggered. Like, he was genuinely triggered. He's like, wait, what? Like nothing else bothered him. He wasn't disaffected when he seen the bruises of Adriana. But when that man heard, and you suffered and you killed my dog, that man looked like, wait, what? And then I cried again when Paulie says,
was it bark?
What? Like, because Paulie's not an understanding character. So the fact that he tries to understand how you killed the dog. Wait, was he barking? It's like dogs bark, bro. Like, but that would have been good enough for Paulie. Like babies cry. Like, wait, was he crying? Did you get rid of the baby? Because like, it was just so funny to me, bro. It's like, wait, was he? I swear, bro. This
everything about because even the fact that Seal wrote that down and read it.
Yes.
Because that was so simple, but he could have just said it the same way Paulie did. But that nigga said, he really took to heart the instructions. All right, write it down, say it.
Yeah.
The hair was in the toilet water. Disgusting. The fact that Seal wrote disgusting as a sentence. That was a sentence.
Yes.
That's on the paper. That's
on the
paper. Yeah. Like he's
and
not
put that shit down. Like I said my piece.
Well, you got to think too, because like a few episodes, last episode when Paulie was like, well, the episode before last where Silvio, Tony was like, you think anything's weird with Ralph about women? And he was just like, I mean, he beat women. Like the girl that used to work at the Bing. Wait, what was it for again? So it shows like, okay, Silvio, if it's not mob things, he's not staying locked into these other affairs, right? So it's fun. So it makes sense to me when he writes down versus previous episodes. He's thinking about, you know what? This is when Big P became a rat. And he can remember that when he came down to Tony's basement. But when we talk about civilian affairs, he got to write stuff down because he's not locked into that at all. So I think that's just a great through line. We talk about Paulie writing that down. Like one day when you came into Bing, he had to really sit down and think about this, and he had to write it down. Like it's crazy. But yeah, this scene is like, now my mother.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Supposed to be non-judgmental. Fuck that. Let him take his medicine,
bro. Yeah.
Fuck this intervention shit. We about to get real.
And
that's when the shit go off the hinges.
It is.
Tony said, "I know what it's like to lose a pet." Literally, the whole room, it was like a collective sigh and an eye roll. Like this motherfucker go with this horse.
You know how it is. It's that one person like they looking for somebody to relate, and nobody does. Kind of like
Chris get his Chris get his mic on. Chris get his mic on from Why Did I Get Married? Just started airing the whole room out.
His mic. He aired out. Like
okay, then y'all on me. Okay, then
yeah, we doing that. What about you, Seal?
You fucking everybody at the Bing, nigga. Paulie, the Russian.
Yeah, and in his eyes, bro. Obviously, we know the comment that he says, to Tony, but I'm not going to relabor it because of the real life events. And I think recently I seen on Instagram something's coming out about James Gandolfini, but we stand behind him, and we're not going to support any of those negative, unauthorized writings about James Gandolfini. I seen something recently. I didn't send it to y'all, but I just didn't like it either. It was nasty work. But yeah, just a great scene, man. It's very funny. The funniest scene, man.
Probably the funniest scene of The Sopranos.
No, it absolutely is. I remember crying at work. I was trying so hard not to laugh out loud, bro. This is one of the hardest things. I was listening to a podcast and they was playing the clip. I tried so hard not to laugh, bro. I think I still spit and laughed and everything.
The funniest, hold on, man. One of the funniest underrated. Listen, one of the funniest. It's so quick that you can watch this a million times and never catch it. We know what he says about his mom when Chris calls her, see you next Tuesday. Mm-hmm. But the way her mouth is open, like she gasps, like what she says it. You can only see it for a very split second. But her reaction and then Paulie swings on her, that's just hilarious. And then Dominic getting pushed out the way because Seal knocks him down.
Man, my favorite is how Paulie sized him up on the walk over there. It was a slow, like usually when you gonna hit a nigga, it's fast. Like it's all one action. Like he took like 3 or 4 small steps and then sized him up and hit him. And then my other takeaway was Benny. Benny got over there quick. He had to get some frustration out over it.
Nah, Benny stayed getting his ass whooped. Benny stayed catching the hook or a straight. He was working him. He was working him, and then Chris got the punch in on him, and it made me think of a future scene.
Yeah,
when we get with Artie, and then a future scene with Phil. Like, damn, poor Benny, man.
Yeah, man. The mastermind, the Furio was in there too, though, right?
Nah, Furio was chilling.
Furio
was like, man, I got adopted.
Okay, maybe I got
to do with this. Nah, Furio was chilling, man. Furio, man, I got adopted by these niggas, man. I ain't about to jump into this shit.
You're right. Okay, that was okay. I thought that was him getting the kicks off, but
nah, Furio was in the corner. There was no, because I trust me. I rewound it and looked for it.
Didn't make it. Yeah, he didn't make it over there. He was in the same place.
Yeah,
Him and Carmela was in similar positions in different sides of the room, just squealed up against the window.
I mean, yeah, right, exactly.
Carmela
Yeah,
act like this is the craziest shit she ever seen in her life.
she always does this, don't she?
Them niggas
Oh
was
my
kicking his
God.
shit, bro. They was whooping his ass.
Bro, they was getting a
That was great.
punt kicker off right now, bro. But it was funniest scene by far in the Sopranos as far as a whole sequence. Now,
Yeah.
I would argue like a Vito scene later, the blood pressure, that would be funnier for me. But as a whole scene, look at it. It's a joke.
That'll never not be funny. I don't care how many times I hear it.
I promise you it will
it's
not.
a joke. It's hilarious to me.
Yeah, it is. It's the excuses that make it.
That's
funny.
the best shit you came up with on the spot.
That's
It's a joke. You can't explain this, my nigga.
Bro,
you can't.
that's why I can't wait. Like people, like I feel like this was unnecessary to do as a storyline. I'm like, nah, y'all niggas is bugging. This is one of the funniest Soprano stories because it's the excuses, not the classification. It's just the excuses that make it so funny. But we'll get there.
Johnny Cakes, all that. That whole shit was crazy, man.
Like you got to wait for that.
You want some sausage with that?
Bro, you got to wait for that. All right. Oh,
it's a joke.
It's a joke. Oh man, I swear I cannot wait. We're about to get to some banger after banger episodes, dude. But,
hey man, don't use banger after banger in that sense, bro. Not right now. Yeah.
Can I say hit after hit? Is that not working?
Yeah, man. You talk about Johnny Cakes and then say banger after banger. That's crazy.
Yeah, take it easy.
It's a joke.
Right. Chris is at the hospital. Tony just says that you're only alive because you're my nephew, and normally people would normally people get an intervention in the back of the head. He says that Patsy will be watching you during your rehab stay. Anything y'all want to add to that?
Just real quick. He slipped off the kitchen counter spraying for ants. Listen, if that's what the fuck they told you, then that's what happened. Don't come to me with that bullshit. I asked you if he's doing all right. Yeah, man.
Yo, this
I was a clever ass.
You're not a police investigator.
Exactly. And I love Tony's response. Well, he was wearing socks. Just get the fuck out of my face. And he told him without telling him. He told Chris without telling him, listen, Pat, if you need anything at all, Patsy will be right around the corner. Anything, my nigga. If you want your head blown off, then leave this facility and I guarantee you.
Right.
It's
Go looking for some dope if you want to.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Poor Patsy, man. Got to be in Pennsylvania for however long until nigga, I got a wife. Nigga, I got shit to do. I got drops to pick up.
Did y'all feel sorry for Christopher? How did they fucking get to this? Was it
fuck no?
Nah.
I wonder how
do y'all think Patsy is the equivalent, or do y'all think he should have had somebody else like a Benny, little Paulie?
No, because you got to have somebody that's going to get it done. Okay. Yeah, Benny ain't getting it done and none of that shit. Yeah, Benny just got punched by Chris. He might have had Benny on his mind and he saw a right hand come across his face from Chris. I was like, nah, never mind. Nah. I do feel, Spike, I guess to your point, on a human level, there is some compassion. Because you can judge, but you have to be very emotionally mature to understand that the person that somebody is when they're on drugs and addicted like that isn't necessarily the person that they are, deep down. So yeah, I'm sure there was that questioning of damn, because we know Chris from season 1 and all that, like, damn, how did it get to this? And my nigga, you just took a crazy turn. Like, dog, you used to be my dog, he was in my left titty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shout out to you, Spike, for finishing that lyric. But yeah, there's a small bit, but Mo, you make the point all the time. We get the inside track of their life. So when you know these things, it's hard to be sympathetic. Because I'm like, bro, you killed your dog. You don't give a fuck. You ain't sympathetic about nothing you do. So why should we be sympathetic about you?
Yeah,
facts.
But on a human level, yeah, like, it is sad to see.
Yeah. Tony and Svetlana. Here's the moment, and this is the moment. Another moment that I think David Chase was speaking through his script. Well, maybe the writers and the collaboration, however, it came to this point because when she said this, it hit different in comparison to Melfi, the things Melfi has said this season. And what she says is that the trouble with you Americans, you expect nothing bad to ever happen. when the rest of the world expects only bad to happen and they're not disappointed. You have everything and still you complain. You lie on couches and cry to psychiatrists. You got too much time to think about yourselves. Bro. Dog.
Listen, that's spot on. Spot on, man. I do think about that in societal terms because where we are today, when you talk about things like cancel culture and all that, I think we're finally reaching a point. I won't say finally, but I think everybody's reaching a point where they don't like the truth. I don't care. Like I don't really care about getting canceled or X, Y, and Z. Like I'm gonna say what I feel, and however you take it is how you take it. I think things are getting to that point to what he's talking about. Everybody's on their psychiatrist and kind of feeling sorry for themselves. And it's like, bro, the rest of the world, you know, people say it like Lil Duval said all the time, like, nigga, if y'all went to a ghetto in one of these third world countries, y'all wouldn't talk about the ghettos here. Like this shit, it's real out here in this world.
Facts. That's a great example.
And it was a reminder that something needed. Yeah, for sure.
No, I was only going to say, especially knowing her background and where she comes from, she can say that and say that confidently. Like I still over here and I made it. Did they make her look better? Like she didn't look like this in any of the previous seasons. Bro.
She didn't, man.
I mean, what are you trying to say, Spike?
They put a little extra makeup in. I seen what Tony seen for a second.
Oh, did you see what Tony seen? You see what I seen when I spoke about at least the cousin? And y'all laughed me out the room.
You seen this?
They did laugh you out the room.
Y'all laughed me out the room when I said that.
That's
bro.
my point. It wasn't there then. Like you was stretching it. You was like, I can make this. You was like, I can make this something. She was sitting there like she was something. Is my point. It's two different things. Like you was stretching it to be that.
I gotta go
in
back,
that
bro,
moment. I don't. She was that.
She was that.
She looked good right there.
But I really don't think there was a time she looked bad. They just didn't give us a lot of time.
I ain't saying
with her
she looked bad.
She didn't look bad, but she didn't look like this.
Sexy.
Yeah,
she actually looked like sexy right here.
Okay.
I could see Tony doing it right
where do we put her in rankings of looks? So I imagine she's probably not above Valentina for you.
She can't be no higher than fourth.
Okay, fourth.
She don't have her cousin. She don't have Valentina.
So Valentina's number one right now for y'all, or
yes.
Is Gloria number two?
Me. Gloria's number two, and the rest is number three.
So where does Meadow at this college age follow anywhere or no?
Whoa, I thought we were just talking about Tony's.
Tony's Gumar. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was considering. I would put Meadow.
Oh well, if we're going Tony, then I probably go Gloria, Valentina, then her. So.
You putting her over her cousin?
Irina? I might put her over Irina too.
I put over Irina's definitely
just because Irina's annoying.
She's annoying.
If Irina had a little bit more of a personality, I put it. But Svetlana is a real person. Like that's part of her attractiveness.
Yeah, it's something attractive about I don't really need you. It's just something attractive about that challenge. You know what I'm saying? And she has that. So, So maybe they gave her that look. Maybe they gave her that actress look that he's speaking about. But she goes through the whole thing, and Tony appreciates that, and he knows that it speaks to him. And then he gets his joint cop.
You got a one-legged one now, huh?
Yeah, bro. Like Tony is. This is dark tone.
Wild.
This is dark tone. Like that's what I said, bro. Dark tone. Like, this man.
That's one of those random. That's one of those random quotes. Like even like I could just be walking through the crib and just randomly say, "So you got a one-legged one now? One now?"
Like yeah, it's just. It's like, bro, that made no difference to Tony. Like, I don't even know all right, I can't even go there. I don't even want to go there, man. Shouts out to never mind. Just never mind. I don't even know how to word it. But Christopher checks in the rehab. I don't got nothing else to add. Patsy's in the hallway, but that's pretty much it.
Adriana is slow. Like just love struck would be a better term to use, but man, it is crazy.
It is
the emotional roller coaster that this man has taken her on more than halfway through this series. Man, it is wild that she still gets emotional. At some point, with other races of women. It's just gonna be like,
Yeah.
what, fuck it. If you figure it out, come holler at me. Like, but still
Espe-
breaking down and crying and like, man, it's a lot of women that ain't going that far, bro.
Especially when you have a clean exit. You don't got no kids. You don't got no assets. There's
Dude,
nothing tying you to him. Man. You can
Yeah.
go.
what?
Yeah.
For her to be that emotional with no kind of tie-in is insane to me.
Yeah. Not
So,
married either. Like it just I think a lot of it ties into her upbringing. We don't get that backstory, but in theory land for me, it ties into her upbringing, what she's seen her mom go through, and somehow maybe having the idea of this is what love is, toxic relationship. And I think that she thinks that we're gonna, on the other side of this, we're gonna make it, we're gonna be better. And he's, and it's just unfortunate. That's why. When status changed for Chris, I'm just gonna put it that way. We don't never really embrace the next, and I'm gonna put it that way. I don't think I'm spoiling anything when I say that. We don't really embrace the next because of this. But yeah, we get another scene with Tony and Svetlana, and Tony pretty much like, yeah, I got some things coming up, but I'll call you when I get a chance. Svetlana pretty much breaks it off with Tony. She said, I got my own problems. hit him with the Paulie. And this nigga's like tripping about like the fact that like, bro, she's not tripping about tripping about you. Like she like your qualities. You got some good masculine qualities, but bro, she ain't bugging about you at all, bro. Anything I want to add to that scene?
Male ego's a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't want to call. You cut it off with me.
Facts.
Male ego, motherfucker. Man.
Especially when you look at somebody, you look down. I hate to say this. This is terrible, but like when you look. Like you're not on my level. That's the cleanest way I can put it. Like you're not on my level. We just got intimate. We got busy, and you're not on my level for real. And you kind of want to ghost me for real. It's like in my head, I was giving you a chance. Like, so I get where Tony coming from, but like, yeah, I love this. This is if there's any moment of women empowerment, this is one of those moments. It's like, bro, even with the one pinata, I'm cool. Like,
Man, oh man, that nurse coming home set off a chain of events for my dog Tony.
I don't even remember where that lands, bro. So that's.
What you mean you don't know where that lands? Whitecaps. That's where that lands.
Oh, that's how the info.
Oh, yes, that nurse walking in. Yeah.
Oh, that's how the info.
You see the look she gives ASAP, like on some. What you doing? I know you was coming home so soon.
Gotcha.
Wasn't expecting you back so soon.
Yeah, they all in the same circle.
Furio, he's sitting in the dark and he's thinking. It almost kind of looked like, to me, in a weird way, it looked like Artie's home when he was crying and drinking the wine. I don't know. That's about all I got from that scene. Tony's at home and he's reading this note, and it says, Tony, I'm at the Charles Hotel. She leaves a number. AJ is at Patrick's. Rigatoni in the fridge. Love you. I don't know why she's at the hotel. Did y'all gather why she was at the hotel?
I guess we're to assume that she's in a bad space and just wants some time away. And she's thinking about Furio.
Okay. But then we just kind of get this little comparison between.
That was her moment to go over Furio instead of the hotel.
Okay, so I go back to what y'all was saying. Like she should have got it off.
Something should have happened.
It would have validated the story.
Should have been a lie. Yeah, that note should have been a lie.
Yeah, that's just she didn't want it as bad as she thinks she did, because you want Tony's money more than you want that. You know what I mean? You want it. So, and the status and everything the lifestyle. You want the lifestyle more than the man, Furio. But yeah, we see
it's
that
almost like they tried to trick us. Like Furio was cooking dinner and shit. Like Carm was gonna come over to.
Is that what you got?
Like they tried. Yeah, it was like they tried to trick us.
Okay.
That maybe she was lying. The note was a off though, and we was finally gonna get the moment. He pouring the wine up. He fixing the pasta and shit. Tony using the microwave, drinking milk. Just like the comparison, and him getting what he deserves. But that never happened.
Yeah,
it is a little odd. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna they just doing a comparison thing, but go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a little odd that Tony didn't really have a reaction. We see how much he likes to control what Carmella does in the box that she's in.
He didn't make
Even
a
getting
phone
into
call.
real estate and all that stuff. Like, yeah, he didn't even call her to see. Like that would be odd to Tony. Like, man, you at the hotel? What's going on?
Why?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Like just the fact that he would have questioned it. Maybe the note put him at ease because she let me know where she was. She let me know where AJ was. She got dinner, got ready for me. She said, "Love you." All right, well, maybe this is just some shit. Maybe she there for something else. And we already know. I guess it's the most important part. Tony doesn't even see her to begin with. Tony probably don't even care to ask. Furio would have asked.
Mm-hmm.
Tony don't care. Like, all right, you out, cool. Yeah, I'm sure any man will tell you like ain't no better time than having a crib to yourself.
Oh God, Mo know this. You married.
Well,
that I'm about to dips, and you like, yes.
Hey,
oh,
hey,
you don't want me to go either. Yes.
Hey, take it easy.
I can play Madden in peace.
Hey, take it easy. You hear me? But yeah, yep. That's and she said that with Rose. That he makes me feel like I'm beautiful. Makes me feel like I'm heard and I'm seen. I didn't get to say that in the role conversation, but yeah. And then
you sound like you're 15 years old.
Yeah, that part for real.
Grown ass mom.
Teenage fever on some Drake. Scene 30. The last scene we get. Paulie puts the new painting up, but he still has this feeling he's being watched. I think. He just kind of looks up and he's looks back again and got that vibe. And I just feel like these are seeds painted. Anything I want to add to that last Paulie scene?
Nah.
All right. And that is season 4, episode 10. The strong silent type. Lastly, before we get into our rankings, why do y'all think they use this one as a strong silent type? Do y'all have any theory or idea why? Because it's like that is a strong theme. That was something I wanted to bring up before we got out of here. I just it seemed not weird, but it's like why this one being the strong silent type? That's all for me.
I guess it alludes to who you think it may be referring to. It could be referring to Carmella being strong and silent about how she's being treated with Tony and not acting on her temptations with Furio. It could be about Furio, him like having the strength to step back when he knows something was gonna go awry with him and Carmella because it was getting too close. It could be about Chris not mentioning what he knows about Ralph, even though they had him in the fire in the intervention. It could be about Tony. Yeah, it could be about Tony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just so I think that there's a couple of different characters that the title could apply to, which is why they use it in this episode.
Okay. All right. Well, before we get out of here, we leave y'all with some rankings. Spike Lou, how do you rank this episode?
This is a made episode.
Let's go.
Not a lot of the plot moves some. Like the plot does move some, but it wasn't any big plot movements. But just this is one of the most memorable episodes of the whole shebang. So this is definitely a made episode.
I like it. No brainer. Rich.
Bring those brooms out, man. It's made. It's got to be a sweep. It's got to be a sweep.
Bro, it's absolutely made. This is a made episode. So we back to back on trips. That's crazy. Whoever did this and the strong silent type. I'm anxious to see where next week goes. Well, I guess the next week when we review an episode as a trip. Spike, who gets the good earner chain for this episode?
I think the good earner chain for this episode goes to, I don't want to give it to Tony, which is obvious. I'm gonna give it to Johnny Sack. I know y'all didn't like this scene of him right here, but I do think that we're fans of Tony. This is why we're watching the show. It gave Tony an out. Like, even though he was trying to play Tony and get something from him, it gave Tony a much needed out to stop the scuttlebutt amongst the crew of like, hey, he foul. But now Tony got a whole new this is what happened.
So Johnny Sack get the chain for this?
Sack. Yeah, because Johnny Sack had to pressed his issue, like, nah, you got me fucked up. I want my money. And
Mm.
Tony would have never had this out. So indirectly, I say Johnny Sack is the winner of this.
Okay.
I give it to Johnny Sack, man.
What say you, Rich?
For some reason, I feel like Paulie's the right answer. This might be the first one that I have trouble explaining to make a point, but it just felt right. Paulie got rid of an enemy. He didn't get rid of him per se, but his enemy's gone. You get him out the picture. He's got this painting of Tony. He's now fully cemented out of prison. He's back in the swing of things. Yeah, there's still some beef, but we didn't see it this episode. He finds his way back, like on the inner track when he gets to talk to Seal out there. You know what I mean? Like, hey, don't you think this is a little bit weird? It just seems like he's getting welcomed back, where I guess he's back into the swing of where he was before he went away. And that's going to change. There's going to be some conversations before the season ends. And then obviously we'll see. I don't want to say too much, but Paulie, for some reason, just felt like the right pick. Swung on Chris. Got him up out of here.
Stole on him in front of his mama.
Yeah, man.
That's a good pick.
$20,000 painting. Yeah, man. We out here.
He got the betting money off the pool table.
Yeah, man. He's a little small wins throughout the episode.
Small wins today. Yeah.
It was the first time since he's been out of jail where I didn't feel like Tony was bitching and Paulie was bitching and just a nuisance and a headache to everybody.
He felt pretty good knowing that Ralph was probably gone. So yeah, that's a good pick. I'm going Adriana LaServa. Come hell or hot water. As rough as it took, she got her man to rehab. It was very challenging for her to get that. I mean, unfortunately, she had to take some physical abuse, verbal abuse, but with the village that they have in the mob, she was able to get that nigga in rehab so that in her mind, the possibility of him being the man that she believed he could be is on the table. So I got to give it to Adriana. I hate how it got there, but nonetheless, she got that man in rehab. And so I give Adriana the good earning chain for this episode. Spike Lee, who gets the Broken Balls Award.
Dominic, man. Dominic just trying to hold interventions and be therapists out here, man.
A two-time loser.
Two-time loser, just trying to turn his life around, getting called out for stealing pork loins and had an intervention that went totally left field. Could not be good for his Yelp reviews, man. So
Yelp reviews. That's good. Rich, who gets the broken balls from you, man? That is hilarious.
Maybe not the broken balls, but the broken neck. Cosette. Got her up out of here, man.
That bro.
That was nasty.
I can't believe that was the fastest.
That was a nasty one, right?
That was really nasty right there, bro.
That's why I'm getting weak, man, because I know I ain't shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I know I ain't shit, man. But
I think you speak for a lot of us.
Yeah, man. Cassette, man, just chilling, minding your business. Next thing you know, this nigga just sit on you and it's over. And don't give a fuck. Don't even notice it. Like, if I sit on my cell phone or remote, nigga, I notice that. Like, damn, you got a whole living creature underneath you. You don't, man. So R.I.P. Cosette, man. I know there's a lot of laughs, but it was just remembering. Yeah, the laughs were just remembering the good times we had with you.
Yeah, that's true. And
I'm saying,
I'm gonna go Benny Fazio, man. Benny, the only person. Benny's the only person that when you're in an intervention and you got a gang of y'all mobsters, all of y'all are jumping this dude, and you're the one person that lets the junkie get still back on you like that. And then on top of that, picking up Carmela and she pretty much treating you like the spook at the door is crazy. Like, yeah, Benny Fazio. Like, and lastly, Spike, what is your? This might be trips too.
This do you even gotta ask?
Yeah, so I think the easier thing would be, what's your second favorite? What's your second favorite?
There you go.
That's what you do.
Yeah, because the intervention. Come on.
Yeah,
okay,
easy.
so what is the next best?
By far the best one. My second favorite. Now I haven't really given this much thought. Rich, you want to go first?
My second favorite is going to be the Vesuvio scene with Patsy, Albert, and Seal. It it showed the dynamics changing. This would have never happened in season 3 or season 1, or even earlier this season. You would have never got Seal talking about we off the record. You would have never even got anybody questioning Tony's position and should we, start a mutiny? Should we take action? Should we put this in our own hands and get them up out of here? Maybe do a little bit more digging to see if we can prove this and have a real solid ground to stand on, to let Seal do the job and continue with the things of ours. This is about tradition. You know what I'm saying? Centuries and centuries of tradition, yo. Like this, Tony can't just come in and change the rules because he sees fit. That ain't what this thing is about. So the fact that we see that and we see the capos finally like stepping up for themselves, it was just a whole different tone, and it goes with what we were talking about and what that listener left a review about. Just listen, this is a different version. This is shit starting to turn dark. And if you know this series and you've seen it, then you absolutely know what we're talking about. If you haven't, then buckle up, because all that sweet and everything cool, the sweet shit, that shit gone. Tony different, man. He gone. He out of here.
That's facts.
So that was my second favorite scene throughout the episode.
I like that.
Mine is the scene after Johnny Sack meet when he went to tell the boys and made the pivot on what happened to Ralph.
Great
good pick.
That was really good. Yep.
Sorry. And mines would be Adriana get mad at Chris for killing Cosette. Like, just like the way she cussed and cried, like, are you crazy? Like, I can't tell you, like, the pauses and the breakdown, like her looking for it and like going into that, like, like going into the room. I don't want another dog. Like, it was so good from an acting standpoint from Drea DiMatteo. So, and then even obviously Chris, Michael Imperioli. So that's definitely mine. And that is our episode. Thank y'all for tuning in again, and for those that are new, thank y'all for rocking with us for this long. We have long formatted podcasts, but y'all could go on the roller coaster ride with us as we have fun, do deep breakdowns, and even get ignorant from time to time. The next few weeks, we're gonna get something very interesting from the crew, from the Good Earners crew, a glorified crew, if you want to call it. So we'll stay on the lookout for that. Subscribe on Apple as well as Spotify. Go check out the poll. I put out a poll last week. Yeah, and I asked, did Ralph take it easy? I put out a voting poll last week. Did Ralph kill Pyomai? Yes or no, as crazy as it sounds. And the synopsis
that dude in the beginning took a lot of liberties as far as just guessing that all the signs pointed to Ralph doing that. I didn't get to say that at the front.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The first one we had, he's like, the writing's on the wall. I don't really see it that way, but shouts out to you.
Yeah, but people said yes, Ralph. And then I think I've asked a few weeks ago, Valentina or Gloria. I gotta go back and look, but I think they said Valentina. But
absolutely.
But yeah, so y'all just hit us up, GoodEarnerPod_Sopranos on Instagram for your questions, concepts. Immediately hit us, GoodEarnerPod@gmail.com. Subscribe on YouTube for the visual. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. And remember, don't forget about it.